Hello, my name is Saltbot. I am Kismet's co-host for this evening. Welcome to Kismet's stream and thank you for dropping by once again. Tonight it's time to get back to PC gaming with the Kismet Overburdened with Love PC. Thanks to all of you, we can take this stream to another level. Let me open up the vault door and let's go inside. Kismet is waiting for us.
Holy mackerel, everybody! I am back. Welcome to the stream. I hope you all are doing awesome. I'm very loud for some reason. Let me turn that down a little bit. Thank you very well. Not that I'm not normally loud, but I'm just extra loud today. Thanks for hanging out here in the stream. I finally, oh my gosh, I finally feel better today. I got whammied by, I don't know, food poisoning or something yesterday. But I decided I was going to stream anyway, and here I am ready to play some games. I'm ready to play some Cities Skylines. I said I was going to do these bonus streams, play some more games, do more streams, more stuff here on the stream, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to it. Finally, we can get back to it and have some fun. Yes. Oh, I got new stuff coming, Josie. Don't worry. I got so much stuff I'm working on. I'm always working on like 50 projects at the same time. Always trying to improve the stream. There's actually some new stuff on the way, as always. I'm always tinkering with the stream. So thanks everybody for being here today. We're going to dive in. I see Innervate in the chat. Thanks for hanging out, Innervate. Appreciate everybody hanging out here in the stream. Of course, make sure to show lots of love to my mod Josie, backing me up today. Amazing person. Got to meet her at TwitchCon. We got to hang out, had a fun time, and she's always back me up, so make sure to show lots of love and respect, because of course, you know, they're going to give you Fate's Hammer if you get out of line. Make sure to follow those chat rules, everybody. Follow those chat rules. So thanks for hanging out, and let's get right to it. I'm ready to play some games. I don't know about you. I've been so sick that I basically have been playing like They Are Billions a little bit, and then playing some Fallout Shelter, and that's about it. I haven't been playing too much, so I'm ready to play. Let's dive right into some Cities Skylines. Let's go. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button. Let's press the right button this time. Hey, this is my stream is all about. Silly stuff that I do. Let's go. All right, here we are in Cities Skylines. This is where we left off right here. Now, today we're going to be talking about making them Dolla Dolla Bills. And, of course, I'm going to be kind of sharing some things that I learned along the way, playing some Cities Skylines, getting your Cities Skylines set up and running and all that stuff. Now, this is a super fun game. If you have not played this game, I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of SimCity or even The Sims or any other type of game like that, I would definitely try it out, because it's not just a little tiny little baby map like the problem with SimCity Online, which I own now. I own all the SimCities, by the way. Played it since the original one way back in the day. The problem with SimCity is, one, it's like broken. It doesn't work well. And number two is the fact that it's so tiny. You make these tiny little cities. We'll see these little spots here. Well, I can actually expand into those spots, build a whole nother city there connected to my current city. And it's not like I go into another like instance. It's like you open up that spot and you're in the same whole entire area where you can see the cross traffic and all that stuff. It is super cool, everybody. Amazing. You'll see me build a massive city here. But what we've done first is we've established our money-making kind of setup here. Now, let me go ahead and go through it real quick here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my red arrow, because you know what? I go above and beyond in my stream. I don't just gloss over stuff and then rush ahead, because that sucks. That sucks. You know, you're watching the stream, you're like trying to watch and figure out what the heck the guy's going. The guy's like, hey, this is how you do that, this is how you do that, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I didn't understand anything that guy said. So I take a little extra time for you guys right here. So what we've done right here is, as you can see, we've done a pretty great start. And I was getting fascinated with the actual start. I find in most games, your start is the most vital thing to get a good round of play in. Now, as you can see, I've got something way off to the side here. It looks like I need some water and some power. We're going to deal with that here in just a second. But right here is our city. Now, let's take a look at our basic three areas, right? So we've got our industrial, which is, of course, where they work. We've got commercial, which is also where they work, but it's just, of course, it doesn't cause as much pollution as our industrial. And of course, our commercial. Now, look at the difference in the amount of each thing, right? I have a lot of residential, right? Little bit of commercial and a whole good amount of industrial, right? So these people got to have a house, then they got to have a job, and then they've got to go somewhere and have dinner and lunch and have some donuts and whatever they want to have right here in the commercial zones as well. So as you can see, I've started in such a way where this road comes in. All these heavy trucks that are coming through are going to go into the industrial area here and then turn right around and right back out again. So they're not going through my commercial, which is up here, or through my residential. I don't want them going through there because it's just going to slow that all down. Now, as you can see, I've got kind of some major roads already. Now, we just started this last time, and I'm going to go ahead and show you my major roads here. You can see that my major road, of course, coming off the freeway here. This will be a major road. I'll have a major road off to the side here and another one. So my vertical roads are my major roads. They actually run all of the main part of the city. Now, the side roads here that are going this way will become major roads when they're around industrial. That's why I've left some space in between the lines here. If we go ahead and zoom in a bit, we can take a look that we have that we have some space right here. See this space? That's there on purpose so that when I expand the road, it's actually going to push out by one on both sides if I choose to. And then this empty space here will actually be good. Of course, I'm going to lose my awesome footpaths. Look at these footpaths, everybody. I'm a big fan of footpaths. The reason why is your people can go from way over here in your residential, and they can walk all the way over, boom, and then they walk down. You can see some people walking on it right there. Here we go. Let's see if we can get in the right spot. Right here, you see some people already walking those footpaths. Imagine if you had footpaths everywhere. If you never had to wait for a light, right? You had roundabouts, and you didn't have to wait for a light because you can just footpath right over to the other side where you want to be. Where you might live on this side, but on that side is the restaurant you want to go to. So you never have to wait for a light. You just kind of over the road, get to where you're going. Never have to push the light button. The people who are driving don't have to wait for you to cross the street. All of that, and that's why I use footpaths. Footpaths really, really help a lot. They reduce congestion and allow my people to get from place to place. And as you can see, I've got some footpaths that run right down the middle of the city. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. Now, they run right to, of course, a very big hub of activity, which is, of course, going to be your high school, which is what we have here. We have an elementary school and, of course, our clinic here, so our people can get over here. Now, let's go ahead and turn it on. Let's watch our peeps walk around a little bit, and let's see what they're up to. You see a guy walking around with his dog there. We got people here at the high school. Here we go. We've got a person coming over the top here to get over to this side to walk along there. We got a little bit of action. Now, as our city gets bigger and bigger, of course, it's going to be more and more action. Like right here, look at this. What do we got here? What are these people doing right there? Oh, that's right. We've got some bus lines. We've got some bus lines. Let's take a look at our bus lines real quick here. Let's go ahead and click at this. And, oh, I don't want to put anything down. And then we can go ahead and do our lines overview. So we can go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's move this out of the way and take a look at how our bus is doing. Now, our bus right now is, actually, let me get out of here, and let's just do it through this way. Let's go up here into buses. Bam. As you can see, the bus line does not go down every single road. It does not go down and get everybody from everything. Actually, real buses don't go down, typically down residential. Real buses go down your main roads, right? And as you can see, I've got a main kind of bus stops every bit. And of course, the most important thing to realize is that the bus lanes, our bus lines, I have two bus lines, are going in opposite directions. So if people going that way who want to go from work around to their house that way can go this way, and the people who want to go on from work maybe to the residential or go from here all the way up here to where the activity is. And you can see I've got some bus lines right in front of kind of major activity hubs. And that's going to make it a lot easier for your people to get around, reduce congestion, a lot less traffic as well. Now, you might also notice the type of roads that I have. I have a lot of just simple roads here, just some 2-lane gravel roads, because they're super cheap to upkeep, super cheap to let your city run. Now, I'm going to let my city run a little bit. Now, I've already run the power and also the water over here. I just had to turn it on, and then bam, there we go. It's getting thing. Now, you might notice these two things way out here in the outer edge. This, of course, is your trash dump, your trash area, and this, of course, is your cemetery. Now, the reason why I put them way off to the side is eventually I'm going to want to get rid of them, and I don't want them to be in the major city part because I want to build that up and not have to move stuff. The less you have to move stuff, the less you have to bulldozer stuff, the less it interrupts your economy. Now, of course, right now, making about 1,900 every little bit. That's pretty great at the very beginning of the game. 1,900 is pretty great. I've had up to 65,000 every cycle, which is pretty awesome once you get your city built up. So right now, we've got about 102,000 saved up. I let it run last time. We were talking a bit. And where do we go from here, right? We can see that right here in our kind of middle area, it's telling us we need a little residential, a little commercial, and a bunch of industrial, right? Now, I don't always pay attention to these, though. I do look at them from time to time. But sometimes I just do stuff, and it works out, usually, because I know which way I want to go with my city. Right? So what I love to do is I love to think ahead of time. I like to build the entire city in my head of where I'm going and what I'm doing because it saves you lots of cash. It's more economical. And also it allows you to put stuff down and usually keep it down most of the time. Now, what we want to do next is we want to think about where we're going with our industrial. Right, we've got a bunch of industrial down here, and I like to just stay in this mode so I can see what sections of my city are what. But we've got industrial down here, and we're going to go ahead and move that industrial over here to the left. Now, every time I expand industrial, I expand commercial, I, of course, want to expand my residential as well. As you can see, we've got some big gaps right here. That's because we've got some big areas over here, including some parks and things like that. We'll also be running some stuff through there, subways and all that kind of fun stuff as well. Eventually, you should start with your buses and replace them with subways because the subways can carry more people along the way. You might bring in some trains later. You're going to bring in some cargo as well to bring that in. Of course, I've got trains way out here, which I've got to unlock the train area so I can bring that into my main city. I've got the freeway running along the edge here. Normally, I expand this way so I have power over the freeways. I like to have power over the freeways, and what I do is I try to get rid of the freeway and make it subterranean so that I can, of course, build up on the upper level. So that's what we're going to do here today. So we want to think about, okay, where do we want to go? Now, before we think about any of that, we've always got to check in on our power. How's our power doing up there? It looks good. We've got our little blue arrow looking awesome up there. Bam, a Rooney. My red arrow again. I love this little red arrow. It makes it super easy. This came out of my brain. I thought, you know what? One of the sucky things about watching people play games is the fact that they never point stuff out. They go too fast. Hey, Half Fan, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. Early stream, MW. Yes, that's right. Not only is it early, but it's from now on. It's from now on. I tried to start last time. I got super sick. I got my kids got the flu. My wife got the flu. I got the flu, and then it came back again. I got super sick. I had bad allergies since October. I was trying to take care of that, and then I got like the stomach flu or got like a food poisoning or something yesterday. Holy mackerel, that hurt bad, man. My stomach was killing me, but I said, you know what? I don't ever give up. I'm going to get up today, and I'm going to stream, and I'm going to get back to my normal schedule. So not only am I streaming during the day, but I'm going to continue to stream during the day every day that I can. So right now it's Monday through Friday, 12 noon till about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if you're in Pacific Time, it's 9 a.m. Or whatever in between you are. You can figure out the math yourself. In between there. So as we see right here, we've got a very good amount of electricity. Now, I'm always thinking, whenever that thing slides down from the top, I'm thinking, I'm going to need some more power at some point. Let's take a look at our water and sewage. Looking great. Again, this is about the great balance right here, where at the very beginning of the game, you could set up this city and let it run. And let it run for a while. Now, the problems you're going to run into, sewage, and eventually your garbage, and of course you're dead, right? If I just let this game run and build up millions of dollars, which you can do, right? I've already got 100,000. You can build up millions of dollars and just come back and build an entire giant city. Now, I like to try to do it as I go along to test myself in my ability to manage it. Now, sometimes you're going to lose money, But if you feel like you're going to get it back again, you should always keep a kind of a cash reserve to prevent yourself from the whole city from going down the drain, all right? Though you can get, if you're in an emergency, you can get loans and stuff, and I've done that before where I just overexpanded. I'm like, I got to get a loan to save myself just a little bit longer and then recover and then pay the loan off, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, so what we want to do is we want to expand to the left here. Now, we've got these roads here. Now, these are kind of temporary roads. If you notice, I don't have a road that's crossing over in and out of the freeway. I find that is a huge, huge mistake. You do not want to do that. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because, of course, it creates all this cross traffic of people going out of the freeway and in the freeway and out of the freeway. And so what happens is that particular spot always becomes a traffic jam. It always becomes a traffic jam, even at the beginning of the game. So I don't no longer do that. I actually have an offset of an entrance and exit, sometimes subterranean entrance and exit. I do like the entrance to come in and be offset, or the exit to be offset, which I'm really trying out now. I have been playing a lot with the entrance being subterranean. I'll show you that. We'll get into that in a bit. We still need to update all of our primary roads. We've got a lot of updates to do. But we want to think about, okay, what are we doing on this side over here? Now, this is my primary connecting road, right? This one right here. And eventually, actually, I will make a bridge that makes it go over the entrance and exits, and then you can exit and all that kind of fun stuff later on. But we're going to go ahead and start with some gravel road. Now, the best way to do it is to test stuff out with your gravel road. Because, one, if you accidentally start it up, even though... Bam, I'm going to line it up. If you start it up and you're like, nah, I don't really want that, it's a lot cheaper to bulldoze it. If you actually put it down and then bulldoze it right away, you actually get that back as well, which is pretty awesome. And we're going to go ahead and utilize our residential up here as a template. Take that out. And we're going to go ahead and add that in there. Now, is that what we want? Is that, we want a big entryway like that, kind of mirroring what we have over here? Now, eventually, of course, this is going to expand, and we're going to have some trains coming through here, and that's why this one's extra big. Notice how some of these have an extra wide expansion, because I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to bring some trains through, and here I'm thinking ahead because I want to put a park on one side, and I want to put all the bigger utilities over here that we're shooting for. And you're like, okay, what are you talking about, bigger utilities? Well, I'm talking about this stuff right here. The larger fire station, the police headquarters, of course, the hospital, that kind of stuff that we are going to get here when we hit 5,500 population, which is going to be awesome. Never give up. Exactly, Hellboy. You never give up. You got to go at it. You never surrender. Hey, Pip of the Dead, always fantastic to see you. Now, by the way, if you are somebody who has won a Kismet loot drop, good news for you. Good news for you. It's on the way. That's right, it's on the way, and I have made some epic loot drops for you guys. I included not only what you won, but, of course, some Kiss caps and some other fun stuff in there. I'm not going to spoil the rest of it for you. There's going to be a bunch of stuff in there. Of course, just look for the label, Kismet loot drop, and you're going to have some fun. Now, make sure to take a picture of yourself or take a picture of your loot that you got, and, of course, tweet it to me or send it to me on Discord. Can't wait for you guys to receive those. I work very, very hard on those. I'm not just somebody who drops it into, an envelope and sends it. I like to, have some presentation. I like to throw some extra stuff in there. So when you open it up, you go, oh, cool. Thank you, Kismet. Oh, that's awesome. So I go above and beyond. I even have color labels, which rarely anybody ever does. Make color labels and make it fancy. Make it fancy. Fancy Kismet. And those do cost a lot to send those out, but that's something I do above and beyond because I like doing it. I like to do that kind of creative stuff on top of gaming as well. All right, so there we go. So now we've got two connecting roads. We've got this going over here. We've got this kind of weird, funky corner over here where it's kind of rounded because this road actually doesn't perfectly line up to this road over here. And if I do that, it kind of messes up my grid lines. As you can see, my grid lines get all messed up. Now, see right here where this is messed up? Watch this as I pull this road. I'm going to pull that road. I'm going to pull this road. I'm going to re-put the road down again. And it's still kind of funky, right? And you're like, well, why doesn't it just fix itself, Kismet? Why doesn't that just, act like the rest of it, right? Well, because there's probably an incline there, and also we're connecting from a very large road to a very smaller road. And of course, sometimes that does work, by the way. Sometimes it does work, take your road away and put it back down again to fix that kind of grid problem that does happen. But in this case, I have a bit of a sloping land. As you can see, it kind of slopes down a little bit. And you can fix the slope and that kind of stuff, but you can't major terraform the entire thing. It gives you only a certain amount of limit that you can kind of do. So there we go. Okay, so we've got that going. Let's go ahead and get some stuff running. I'm going to let the game run. And what I like to do, instead of just doing giant blocks like this, I like to be very specific when I'm creating stuff, right? So I can do 4x4 grid, and then I will skip 4 like this, and we'll go ahead and create some things. Now, I also like to let my city run very, very quickly. And then, of course, we've got this like this. Now, if you notice, I've got this kind of line down the middle with footpaths, so I want to make sure that I don't kind of screw that footpath up, which I already did. So if I do that, I can hold down the right button, right mouse button, and unzone that, and eventually that thing will go away. There we go. Now once they've zoned in here, I'm going to go ahead and let that run. Now I'm going to actually leave a bit of a gap here for that road so I can create those kind of footpaths that come along there. So I want to actually work a bit backwards, and I want to work from up here like so. So I know exactly where I'm going to be doing. Now notice the gap here, right? Notice I've got this one gap all the way down. The reason why I have that is because, again, we're going to be expanding this road here eventually as we get more traffic. And again, I'm going to go ahead and skip this middle part here, which we're going to put footpaths all the way down there. And we're going to go ahead and keep on going. This gives you a lot more control. This is right here, this kind of thing right down there, that marquee selection. It gives you a lot more control, and then what happens is, oh, we need some water. And then what happens is once that fills in, it fills into its maximum size. And then you can come back and fill it in next to each other if you want, or you can leave a gap or whatever you prefer to do. But we need to actually add some water over here. This one section, of course, I forgot to do. But that's okay. Boom. And if you notice, I like to connect from road to road, right? Road to road is a great way to connect. And then, of course, not use too much of your funds early on. And keep that going. Let's look at our power. Power's looking good. Now, of course, the more I add this industrial, of course, the more it's going to drain on my power. Now, over here on this commercial, eventually I will bookend all of this residential with commercial and make this actually into offices down here. I like to create a barrier between the industrial and also my residential, though you don't have to. You want to create some slums. In real life, there is industrial right next to commercial and also residential. So if you want to create some slums, go for it. It's actually not a bad technique to keep your city going. Now, I like to build stuff that is kind of like in the long run, right? Like I know that stuff's going to be in that particular spot in the long run. I'm not going to have to move it a lot. Now, look at this. We need some workers over here. To get over here and get to work. Now look at this beautifully coordinated trucks going out over here. They do their stuff, and then of course they cut back across and they go in, or they cut across here, and then this guy cuts over, and then boom, right out to the freeway. See, that's pretty nice, right? And then now these guys are going to come in, and this is going to become a lot more trafficked. Wow, I can't even speak today. A lot more traffic on that road because now people are going to be crossing over. They're going to be coming in, crossing over, and then also bringing stuff over here. Now, sometimes what happens is I don't have enough workers right now to do that because they're all working over here having a great old time. So I need to actually expand my residential. We're going to expand it to the right and to the left. Now, I like to expand it to the left first because I actually can do a full grid to the left. So let's do that. Now, while this city is running, I always kind of start with my kind of primary roads, right? Where's your primary roads at? Now, right down here, these are all going to be larger roads. So I'm going to actually start right here, which is my residential road. And I'm going to count about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right about there, right? And I'm going to look over here. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 6. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go 6 out. And I love the guides in this game. The guides in this game make it way easier and allows you to snap roads and all that stuff. Now we got lots of cash, so we are good to expand out here like so. Now, the reason why I expand in such a certain way is because if you count out the extra space that you need for your double lane roads, and if you count out all of your services and stuff, you can actually figure it out mathematically, the way of leaving the extra spots on the outside. So there we go. There we go. I think I played Skyrim a little bit. There you go. Kim, how long has it been when you played Skyrim last? Oh, man, I don't know. 493 days? I know, a while ago. Yeah, I would love to play some Skyrim as well. You know, there's only so much time in the day. I wish I had more time. If I didn't have a wife, kids, and a real life stuff, I could just sit and play games all day. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. But you got to balance, everybody. You got to have a good balance between one thing and another. Now, let's go ahead and put down our utilities straight away this time. We're going to go ahead and run it out. We're going to line it up with our current road. And you can see I'm just kind of bridging road to road as I go. It saves me a lot of cash in the long run instead of just running all the piping ahead of time. Some people like to do that. They like to run the piping. Let's see how our power's looking. Power's looking fine. And water's looking good. And let's go ahead and try to figure this one out. All right. And again, that went under because we didn't have enough people to do that. So when you're expanding your industrial, of course, you got to expand your residential as well, so people can end up going there. So we're going to go ahead and start by creating an extra gap here. Remember, we're going to leave one space open. And then we're going to go ahead and do 4, 4, and 4 here. Then we're going to leave a gap, and then 4, 4, 4 here. Now, this is not quite exact. See how it is not quite exact there because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not kind of exactly in the center. And you can do that. You can make it smaller. I like to make it between 5 and 6 long because you don't want to have a lot of crossroads. The more crossroads you have, the more traffic you have, the more it becomes difficult to manage your city overall. So as you can see here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 should be here, but actually I've added even longer. So this actually ends up to be longer than what I have over here. See, like I said, you can figure out the math as you go along to see if your roads are kind of perfectly giving you enough space. Now on the left side here, you can see I've got 2 spaces on this side. Instead of just 1 like I have here. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to figure it out perfectly so that it's even this time. And that was just another example of just starting. And then, of course, here you can do it very evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gap for footpaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gap for the outside edge. So let's go ahead and fix these roads here. And let's actually run the road. Now, remember, roads actually take up 2 squares. They take up 2 of the grid. And we're going to run that road perfectly right down the side of that, like that. And then, of course, we don't want to waste our cash, so we're going to take this back out again, and that's going to give us some money. There we go. And now what we do is we have a perfect grid where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a gap on the left because when we expand the road, it's going to, of course, push out a little bit. And there we go. So we've got a nice residential area. Now, of course, because I added this one first, the power jumped across the road to this. Then it went to this one and this one. And as I add them, of course, it's going to expand the power grid so I don't have to run power lines. Super, super awesome. Now, I like to run it down the side here like this. And that's going to basically open up this whole entire side with power. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Let's just keep on going. Now, you can also just go like this. Bingo. Right? That's way easier. You're like, oh, Kismet, man, that's like 10 times easier. Yes, it is. So once you get it lined up, I like to do the first row, and then now I've got my power moved, and then I will run what I call the long line. The long line across the whole entire zone. Now, over here, you got to watch out because it will actually bridge in between wherever you have some gaps. So when you're doing this side here, you probably only want to go like this. And then on the other side, like this, and so on. And there we go. So we're getting some expansion there so that we have more stuff. And eventually we'll come down here in this residential. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear, industrial. So let's go ahead and clear this industrial. while we're waiting, because we did that too early. We should have... Oh, hold on. I accidentally hosed that power right there. Let's put that power back on. I should have expanded residential always first, and then industrial after that, so that you have enough workers. Otherwise, you don't have enough workers, right? Let's keep going. And again, as I'm going, look at that. I'm not even going down in money right now. I'm going up. I'm 138,000. While I started with 108,000. I've got more than I started, and I just built a bunch of stuff. And that's what it's all about. You find like a stable spot, and then you can start to expand. Now, notice how all of these have filled in. Once all of these have filled in, then I go ahead and run the middle ones, and that gives me all of my houses at maximum size. So you're getting maximum taxes. They're being maximally utilized, not a bunch of little tiny houses making it, funky. You're getting a huge expansion as well, so that's going to boost us and allow us to get to the next section of our expansion. And again, you just notice I'm just using little cheap roads. You don't have to use paved roads in the beginning. They do cost you a lot of cash. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and again. I'm just doing a very grid-like playthrough this time. Now, you can get all fancy and do curved roads and roundabouts and all that stuff, and eventually we will add that to the thing. But just so you know, this is very much like where I come from, Los Angeles, Orange County, one of the very first cities that actually are a perfect grid. They actually are perfectly northwest, west, east. All the roads are perfectly square. Most of the places. There are some funky roads up in the mountains and off some places. But pretty much this grid is how Los Angeles is. And it's a huge grid. It is a massive. And the fun thing is about playing games like this is you ask yourself questions that you probably normally wouldn't ask yourself, right? Like, how do they figure out bus lines? Where do they put bus lines, and why do they put bus lines where they do, right? And that's an interesting question. I actually Googled it, looked it up. Also, I have some people who actually work for the Transit Authority, which is pretty awesome. And why do they choose to put bus lines in certain places? Well, that's because, of course, of the most of the traffic, right? How far are people willing to walk? And, of course, where's your heaviest traffic zones, right? Meaning that people going from one place to another, right? People up here in the residential, up here want, of course, get down to their work down here without having to take their car or whatever. So they can, of course, go from up here, wander down here, go to work, and then, of course, head back up there. So we're going to need to add some more bus lines, or we could extend this bus line. We can take that bus line out, right? We can just hit this X right here, take the bus line out, add a new bus line in. Now, if you notice where I put my bus hub way out here, I've put it right here at the very beginning. It does no good whatsoever. It just creates a ton of congestion. If you put it right here where the freeway is, don't do it. Don't do it. Put it way out here away from that congestion. This way your buses can flow nice and great around your city. Now, eventually, this is going to become a choke point because these buses are going to be going back and forth. People are going to be coming through. So we will fix that in the long run. Lord Ed Tucker coming in with the elbow drop. Take this to you in the Dragon Chalice. Bam! Whoa, look at that one. Oh, it's still going. It's gone. That sucker's in outer space. Thank you, Lord Ed Tucker, for that 8 months sub love. Let me back up a little bit. Thank you to Josie also for the host. Sticky Hamster for the host. Raz for the host as well. Lord Ed Tucker, you got a package coming your way. Watch your mail. Watch your mail. Send out those Kismet loot drops. I sent them out. You guys gonna get them. You guys gonna get that loot. Because that's what I do here in the stream. I inspire people. I have some fun playing some games. I love hanging out with you guys, and I love sending out the loot to you guys as well. So let's keep playing. Now, I love these types of games. Now, I used to have a computer, and I've told this on the stream before. I used to have a computer, and all my people I work with and friends that I had, we had a computer, and it just did one thing, a cheap computer that just ran SimCity. That's all it did. And we would leave it at work and we'd let it run, and then we'd, do work or whatever we do. We'd run, we'd make designs and graphics and all that stuff. And we come back and we say, how's our city doing? On our breaks, we'd be like, hey, how's our city doing? Oh, it's doing good. Oh, hold on, let me add this little section. Okay, let it run, back to work, and that kind of stuff. Now, of course, I was a cool boss, so I would let people, do that, to play games at work. I know, how cool is that, huh? What a cool boss, right? I know. What can I say? All right, so we've got more industrial here, but again, it's saying that we don't have enough workers. Let's see what we got going on over here. Let's see. We've got people employed, 1,500. We've got a population of 2,730. So you'd think we'd have enough jobs for everybody, right? But, of course, they need to train up, right? Because I just added all these new people. They need, of course, to get leveled up, as I like to say, IRL. They need to, of course, get some education and all that stuff. Now, a better place for this education, by the way, might have been over here to the left, right? So because it's between these two things. But that's okay. I'm actually going to add education on this side over here when we expand once again. And then these people won't have to travel all the way here. But if we go here and we look at the street level, I can tell you that these people over here are probably most likely walking. There they go. All the way across. Keep on going, brother. Keep on going, brother. He's not driving no car. He's walking. There he goes. Footpaths. Yeah. No blocking the traffic. And boom, right to the high school and elementary school they go. Look at this. Look at this. They are loving it. They are loving it, everybody. They're enjoying their utilities that I'm sending their way. Look at that. I'm making even more money now. 2,185 right here at the beginning of the game. This is very, very early in the game. And as you can see, 174,000. Got lots of cash for when I need to expand in a bit. You need to build up that cash as you go. Thanks again, Lauren Adtucker, for that love. Now, I'm going to try to remember to send you guys some love for the Bit Boss. I keep forgetting. I know they're fast walkers, right? Fast walkers, little suckers. Now, here we go. We'll slow them down a little bit because I have it on fast walk here. But let's go ahead and click on somebody, this guy. And we can go ahead and just follow him. If I can click it. Pause the game. There we go. All right. We can follow him by clicking that. It will actually follow that person. We can see where they're going. Oh. Stop it. There we go. And then we'll keep them going, and we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're going to see what they do. See, they're following the footpaths. They're walking down. All right, going home. He's unemployed right now, not good. But he's going to school, learning, and of course going to get those skills and then get those dollar bills. Got to get those skills to get those dollar bills. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that's how you do it. All right, so there he goes. He walked home, and of course he's going to walk back later on to school and get them all trained up. At the very beginning, you don't have enough skilled workers a lot for your industrial. So that's why you see me don't go very heavy on industrial early on, because that's what happens right there. You don't have enough skilled workers to fill in these jobs and for it to sustain those jobs, right? So let's go ahead and add some more commercial as well. Now, commercial-wise, I'm just going to go ahead and blanket this across here because I'm actually going to be taking that out eventually. So I'm just going to go ahead and run it straight across. Now, again, I like to bookend my residential a lot of times with commercial. So let's go ahead and actually take out this corner here. It's kind of like the corner drugstore, right? The corner drugstore, the corner liquor store, the 7-Eleven or Weigel's or whatever you got in your area. Bam. What's a local, I'm going to take a poll of everybody in the chat. What's a local, convenience store that you walk to? Let me know in the chat that you walk to get, what is this deal here? What is this deal here going on at the end of my thing here? I see some funkiness. I see some funkiness. I thought I fixed that. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and add that commercial at the end. So people basically can walk from their homes and go to like the corner liquor store or whatever they want to do, get some food. Oh, that's what's wrong. It's got a break there. It's got a break right there. All right. I thought we fixed that road. That road doesn't look fixed. That road is actually offset by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I screwed up that road. Now, if you screw up, such is life, right? Such is life. You're going to screw up. I could have sworn I had that road right. Man, I hate that when that happens because it really messes up my brain. Messes up my brain. I'm like, was that right before or was it wrong? It looks wrong to me. So we've got to fix it. So here, what happened was we're trying to run a road. Let's just run this road a little bit longer. We're trying to run a road that literally just has one there. Run this out a little bit. I don't know what happened there, but that road should have only one gap. So when I expand it, it should only have one gap. And somehow I screwed it up. But such is the way it goes, right? So let's go ahead and fix that. And let's go ahead and take this stuff back out again. Now, we might cause some of our houses and stuff like that to get thing, but too bad, too sad, bros. We've got to get this just so. So, because it's going to eat up some of our space over here on the left. So there we go. Okay, so 5 on this side. Some of you are like, Kismet, it's not right. Kismet, it's not right. I know you guys are thinking it in your head. It's not right, Kismet. You screwed it up. But again, such is life. I make lots of mistakes. But I know how it should be. That is the most important thing. The most important thing is to be able to visualize what you want. And if you make a mistake, then, of course, recognizing that you made a mistake and just saying, you know what? My bad. You know, my bad. I made a mistake. I'm a human being. People do make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay if you do. Bam. Just don't make the same ones over and over again, as I'm, you know, don't keep making the same mistakes. If you keep making the same mistakes, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Now, this looks a little messed up right here, so I'm going to actually take this out. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. There we go. We should have there's something definitely wrong with the 1, 2, 3, 4. There's definitely something weird about this top area. 1, 2. Hold on. There's something weird there. All right, this stuff's got to go. Now, that sucks because these people are going to have to get retrained. But there's something wrong there. It's not lining up to my overall grid. I screwed up the grid somehow. And so we can just take it out. Don't be afraid to bulldozer stuff. Don't be afraid to take stuff out and go back and fix it. It does kind of mess you up, though. But it was probably when I was pulling the long lines there, I got a little bit offset. Let's go ahead and do this again. There we go. And there we go. And then our last one. There we are. All right, that's looking way better. That's looking way better. Notice how I leave a gap in between so that these can fill in fully. And then I will put these back in so those can fill in fully without becoming like a partial connection there. Again, don't be afraid to stop, fix it, and then continue on, and then back we go again. I still got lots of residential demand, so these are going to fill in pretty quickly, and then we'll fill that in. There we go. So we only want one gap on the left, one gap on the right. Now let's go ahead and start by filling in our primary roads, because we got plenty of cash. We got nearly 200,000 cash. So I'm going to fill in my primary roads. Now I start with 4-lane roads, because it doesn't matter whether you do a 4-lane road or a 6-lane road. It's actually the same width in the game. And I'm going to go ahead and use this upgrade. There's Lauren Ann Tucker in the chat. Clap traffic in the chat. Everybody say hello. Okay, I guess just sitting here drinking a bit and watching the stream. There you go. Had a rough week, so watching kids helps. Oh, there you go, Claptrap. You know, you're always welcome in the stream. Long-time supporter. Let's show some love to Claptrap in the chat, everybody. He's having a rough day. All right, so we go ahead and pick our 4-lane road. And, of course, we pick our upgrade tool, which is that little exclamation point there. And, again, I've already left the gap that allows me to expand that. Now, on the right side here, you notice, oh, Kismet, you didn't leave a gap, bro. That's right. There isn't a gap there because I'm going to show you kind of the difference between leaving a gap and not leaving a gap. When we do foot pass and when we do other things as well. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade it. Boom, look at that. I have lost that, but I haven't affected this one over here because I thought ahead of time on the left side and didn't so much do it on the right side, which, of course, is now going to cause me to lose area, right? And if I was going to create some footpaths that were going to go over there, I will have to actually cut into the next one. Now, I could, of course, come back, fix all this, take all this out, but it's there for a point. Notice how my footpaths went away, by the way, when I upgraded that road. So now, of course, you got my primary road, 4-lane road coming straight in the city, going right down the middle of the city, becoming the main vein of the city itself. Now, we're also going to expand over here in this direction. And when we try to expand, it says, nope, can't expand this type. Why? Why can't we expand that? Well, because it already is a 4-lane road. And you're like, wow, Kismet, did you think ahead and actually put that road down so you didn't have to expand it later and move your power plant later on? Yep, And the same thing over here. Notice how I've got my utilities lined up against a 4-lane road, so I don't have to move them, which you can do, by the way, in this game. You don't have to bulldoze stuff. You can actually move your utilities, upgrade those roads, and move the utilities back. But it does cost you a lot of money to do that. So best thing to do in the very beginning is actually to make some 4-lane roads. Eventually you can upgrade them to 6-lane roads if you need to. But I try to pre-think out all of that stuff before I put my utilities down. Same thing here. What we've got right here is we've got our fire and police going on, right, across from each other. So I, of course, upgraded that road ahead of time so that I don't have to move my utilities or re-add my utilities. Now, this is going to mess up our footpaths big time, but that's okay. We can come back. We can build those. And notice how also it's messing up our industrial here. Now, you can, in the very beginning, and I've tried it this way, upgrade all of your major roads in the very beginning. But what it does is it really slows down the overall momentum of your entire city, meaning your ability to get to the next stage of people moving in, your ability to have enough cash to put down like your fire and your police, and of course all your other utilities like your education and stuff. It does slow you down if you start with major roads, because of course they have lots of upkeep at the very beginning. So I usually wait till right about now. You know, I've got lots of cash. I got 200,000. You know, I'm making about 2,000 per. And now what's going to happen is it's going to disrupt all of my industrial, right? Everybody's now out of a job, which is not good. Not good. So now what I'm going to have to do, of course, is redo my industrial, which is actually good sometimes because, of course, you get better industrial to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and get my zoning here. I'm going to right-click and dezone all of this stuff here like this and kind of rethink out my zoning, right? Now, sometimes you see it goes along with the zoning, and sometimes it does like a weird, say, it lines up this way, but sometimes it does like this catty corner stuff. That's because of where you start. If you start on like a road, it does you know, square to the actual game as opposed to square to the roads that you're putting down, which is why you want to start on a grid, because then it will be square to the roads you're putting down. So there we go. So I want to actually take out all of my industrial here. Now I've got a power plant down here, a couple power plants that are getting going. Let's go ahead and take a look at our power. Oh, we're going to need some more power soon. So we'll add another power. Now, the reason why I put the power right here is so that the trucks can come in and, boom, supply the power, supply the coal right here. And they're not, like, way off over here where they got to go through the entire traffic, drop off the coal, because I'm importing coal, of course, to keep my city running, and then turn around and try to get back out of the city, which is a huge mistake, I think. A huge mistake to do that. All right, so there we go. So we've updated our industrial area on the right. We've updated our main primary road here. Let's go ahead and update our outer road as well, because we're going to basically redo a lot of the city here. Now, sometimes what I do is I wait until I get my kind of denser roads, or denser, not denser roads, but denser industrial, residential, all of that stuff. So that I can put down, once I take it out, then of course I can put down denser residential and denser commercial. There's no denser industrial. Denser commercial down, because I'm going to take it out anyway when I put in the denser. So what I do is I go ahead and usually wait for that, but we're going to go ahead and do it a little bit early here in this particular playthrough. Let me go ahead and remove these side roads. And then, of course, I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where we look at kind of where our footpaths are going. And we're going to go ahead and do this. Oh, do this along there. Now, I do, as you notice, I do a lot of stopping of the game as I go. Now, I can go ahead and run this all the way across like this. And then I'm always thinking of my footpaths first, right, before I zone. Now, obviously, I don't want to zone industrial right next to their place, right? So let's go ahead and take that out. And we'll go ahead and put some commercial right across the street here. And as you can see, this has got knocked out of here, and I'm going to actually use this to do it. Now, actually, this is going to cost me 2 kind of 4x4 blocks because I didn't pre-plan it over here, as opposed to over here where it's only going to cost me 1 4 block. And you're like, Kismet, I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't worry, we're going to do it here in just a second. We're going to do it here in just a second if you don't know what I'm talking about. All right, we'll go ahead and add some more here. Get our residential or our commercial back in there so people got places they can go to get hot dogs and stuff like that. And we'll go ahead and leave it like that for now. We'll go ahead and take out these footpaths because this footpath is now in my way. There was actually a footpath in my way, which means I couldn't do it at 4. I could only do it at 3 because we want our footpath to be right down the middle. We'll come back and do the footpaths here in a second. Let's go ahead and restart that. Now watch as my money drops like crazy. Watch as it goes from 2,000, 1,800. It's dropping. You're going, oh my God, my income, it's dropped. It's going to happen. It's going to happen when you redo your city. You're going to have massive loss of income, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I don't want to destroy that. That's okay. You are revamping your city, and you're going to try to get it working again. And again, you're going to see it start to kick in. There we go. There we go. Now, look, I'm down to 400 income because I've disrupted my income massively. And there's going to be sections of the game where you need to do that, and you're going to need to recover from doing it. And that's why I wait until I have, 100,000 or so, so that I can survive on next to nothing, and then watch as my income comes up, and I might even get more income than I had before, because of course now the traffic can flow better, my people can get to place better, and of course it attracts people to move into my city. Look at this, 83 people coming in, want to move in to my city. So there we go. So we got that going on, and as these fill in, of course I'll fill in between. I have very little industrial demand right now, but I will go ahead and leave that for now. We've got our commercial going, we've got our residential going here, and while we're waiting for this to fill in, we can also go and start to fill in the rest of this commercial here. We can also go in and start filling back in our footpaths and things like that that got disrupted by expanding those roads. So we're going to go to footpaths here. Now, I like to use the cheap footpaths for the cross paths like this, so people on this side can actually walk through all the way to the other side without having to walk around the outside or take any other traffic or anything like that. It also increases the value of everything around there. Now, here's a trick, by the way, when you're creating like bridges and things like that, maybe for freeways or for footpaths like this, is to use your page up to get it started. And I like to create the gap first. Create the gap first and then come back, and you can left click and then look as it kind of snaps its way down to what you want to get down here. Now, there's an extra piece right here at the end. A little extra piece. We'll take that out. And then what we can do is we can make our footpath perfectly line up to the center like that. Uh-oh, we've lost water. Why do we lose water? Whenever you see that happen, you got to hit the space bar right away so you can stop. Oh, look, we killed our power out here. Our water and sewage has gone down the drain because we killed our power when we expanded our street out here. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we go ahead and run that so that it's touching this. Now, you actually you only have to touch the outside of it, but we'll run it over here. Now, this actually is going to block my zoning, so I don't want to do that. So let's take that out. Let's go ahead and run it in such a way that we're using the minimum amount of distance, costing us the least amount, and also not blocking our zoning down here. And that should, of course, turn our water back on again and our sewage back on again, which, of course, is going to cause all of this to turn back on again. There we go. There we go. So watch out for that. Whenever you see stuff like that pop up, boom, stop, pause the game, because it can cause your city to go down very, very quickly. All right, there we go. We got our industrial going. So, oh, no, that's commercial. Commercial! Let's go ahead and put that in. Again, I'm not going to use it right here. I'm actually eventually going to take over this with some more power. But we're going to go ahead and put our industrial back in again. Our industrial is looking sweet. Looking sweet. All right. It's looking nice. Nice, nice, nice. A little bit more commercial action over here since that's filling in. And all right. Now, here's the difference between thinking ahead and leaving an extra gap at the end than not leaving a gap at the end. Because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a footpath that goes from one section to another. So we're going to go ahead and create a footpath. And I'm going to go ahead and, again, use page up. And we're going to create it go from here to here. Now, if you notice, look at the difference in the road, right? So you've got this extra gap here, and then you got this extra gap over here. Now, what I want to do, of course, is connect it down like this so they can go up as they're walking along, up onto the footpath, and, of course, get to this side. And then, of course, same thing on this side. I want them to be able to do the same thing, end up right there, come along, and then just cross over without having to cross this, right? Now, if I upgrade the road, which I will do, go ahead and upgrade the road right here. Bam. Notice how it doesn't disrupt it. See? Didn't disrupt it when I upgraded the road on this side because, of course, I've left that extra little bit when I put the bridge in, right? I didn't put it right next to the road. I put it up one. Then when I expanded it, it was fine. Now on this side, these roads I'm going to keep small because residential likes the smaller roads, and of course industrial wants to have the bigger roads because there are trucks coming up and down the road all the time. So there we go. So we were able to cross across there. Now, as you can see there, there's no gap between these, right? Now, on the other side, over here, I have left a 2 gap and a 1 gap, right? Because on this side, it's going to cut in to this one right here. And you're like, Kismet, what are you talking about? I'm talking about this. When you put your footpaths in, right, the minimum you can go is 4. So as you can see, now I got a 3 gap there. I got a 3 building there instead of a 4 building. So I should have thought about that ahead of time and left that extra gap on the left side so that when I'm expanding the road size and I'm expanding, putting down footpaths, that I only take up that 1-4 block in the corner. Now you also need to think about your subways and stuff coming back and forth. So you do need, if you want to include subways, you need to have a gap like this. Either you can do 6 or I usually just do 3. That allow me to put a subway in the middle, have my footpaths end here and here around the subway itself. So people, when they're walking over the footpaths, come down, boom, go into the subway and go down the road. So we've got to watch out for that. So now I've actually taken up 8 squares because now I can't put anything down here in that 4 square as well. Though I could just make it 3 wide, which is what we'll do just to kind of deal with it for now. But on the other side over here, we're going to see when we've got a 2 gap or when we've got a 1 gap. So let's do it again. And we're going to go ahead and put this across, right? And then we're going to go ahead and let this come down. Now, I try to make it as minimum possible, which is 4, right? You can see it won't work on that side. Let's go here. 4 right there works on this side. Now, I've only kind of lost this 4 square here. Of course, we've got an extra one, so it's really 5. But I've only lost this kind of 4 grid one there, right? Now, this road is eventually going to expand. So when I expand this road, which I will do just for example, when I expand this road like that, it gets rid of my footpath. So I usually want to expand the road before I create cross footpaths, right? And let's look at it again, but this time, let's look at it in perfection, in beautimus. Let's do it. So we're going to go ahead and create a crossroad now that we've expanded our road, and the crossroad's going to come across. And then notice how it perfectly stops before the next 4x4 grid, the next 4x4 object, right? Same thing over here, so we're going to go ahead and run it across. There we go. Run it across, and then it's going to stop right there. But you're like, Kismet, it's a slope too steep. Well, I'm going to show you a way around it right now. What you do is you go ahead and get this. You go ahead and get your shift terrain, and you go ahead and left click a little bit to bring the terrain up a little bit so that it can actually do that bridge. You don't have to do too much. And then you go ahead and click at the top here, see if it's going to work. There you go. A way to fix that problem, because 4 is the minimum amount that you can go up and then have it come down in the mount, and then there we go. And of course, when we expand that road, again, it's going to, of course, lose the footpath again. And you're like, Kismet, oh man, this is rough. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So you lose your footpaths again when you expand that road. And then you've got to, of course, go in, de-zone all of this, fix all that zoning. But again, if you think about it ahead of time, if you think ahead when you're doing this stuff, it's not so bad. So again, down like that, over here, this side, down. We've got the footpath now. Now we can go back to rezoning our zone here. We're going to go ahead and put it right there and right here. And eventually when we expand this road, this 4 here will line back up again and look fine. And now we've got a perfect footpath across there. Now, not only can we go this way, but we can also get the traffic coming this way, the foot traffic coming from the other direction. So this is something that took me a while to figure out. I like to know base numbers of distances and things like that, because it does help you a lot in the game. Like what is the minimum amount of footpath ramp you can do, which is 4. What's the minimum amount of space you got to leave in between your residential and all that stuff to put footpaths along the back of it, and to put freeways or railroads or whatever you want to do, or you can run them along the road. It's up to you. There's a lot of creative things you can do to make that happen. So as you can see, I went in and I raised the road a little bit. I shifted terrain. I raised up the terrain a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to go ahead and try to get that minimum of 4. There we go. But, of course, I wanted to go 5 because I'm going to have my footpath go along here. Same thing on the other side here. Now, these roads are not going to be upgraded, right? These roads on the side here are not going to be upgraded, but the middle is. So my actual road, my actual footpath should start way over here, right here, and end up right here. So if you want to pre-think it out, you can do that. And then, of course, bring it down. Now, this one's not too perfect because, look, I've got this extra line here, right? Because I left too many blocks over here on the side. But on this side, I've perfectly lined it up so that it is lined up across that. Lined up across there. Now, again, too steep. Let's go ahead and fix that. Let's left-click, bring that train up a little bit, and then run that. Perfecto. Perfecto. And again, when I come through and I upgrade the road, it shouldn't affect now because we've kind of pre-thought it out, that offset. But look what happened. Lost it anyway. You're like, Kismet, you lost it. That's right. We lost it anyway because it pushed so far in that it takes out your footpaths, even though they should not have been taken out, right? Because, of course, it was beyond the gap, right? It was way over here. It was just fine. But that's okay. That's okay. Now, there's also a problem here in the long run if I upgrade this particular road, which I don't want to do. I don't want to upgrade this side road because look what happens. Now I'm not going to have enough space, right? I'm not going to have enough space for my footpath in between. So that's why I leave these roads. And by the way, if you didn't know, you can actually downgrade roads as well. You can download them back down to the proper size. And then these side roads are not going to expand. And I've thought that out in advance. I've thought that out in advance, that those are not going to expand. So I just expand the middle road, my primary vertical roads, and then my side roads here, I can get it to go, there we go, are going to be basically like this. And then this is going to go to the middle, and this is going to end up in the middle like that. And then, of course, since we kind of screwed around with stuff, let's go ahead, take this out. Now, of course, this is going to leave an extra one there, which kind of sucks. But this one on the left side is perfect. So it's perfectly lined up where I only lose the 4x4 square here in the corner, and I still have room for my footpaths and all that stuff in there because I've offset it in such a way that I can do that. Same thing over here. Notice how I've offset this where I can still run the footpath around the bottom. Now, if you're going to run like a train down the middle, or you're going to run train tracks or a road or whatever, you got to leave 2 square gap between your rows, all right? That's going to help you a lot. There we go. Hey, Platinum, what's up? Oh, hi. How is Subnautica? Fun and super addicting. Oh, my gosh. I could play that game endlessly, like a lot of games out there. I really, really did enjoy it. Apparently, it's in VR as well. We'll have to try it in VR at some point. There we go. There you go, Raz. I see your whisper there. Did he explore near the ship? I did. I explored near the ship, Claptrap, and I learned all sorts of stuff. I learned a bit of my sub and all sorts of fun stuff. I found the way up into the ship, at least the way I could find. And I kind of found the 2 different directions. I haven't quite figured out how to move those boxes so I can, of course, get down into the cargo bay. But we'll find out, because next week I'm going to be playing They Are Billions, but then on Friday we're going to play some more Subnautica here in the bonus stream. So we'll be wandering around getting into all sorts of trouble as well. And I want to play a lot more games on stream, play different things, because I'm missing out on a lot of different games because I just don't have enough time. I just don't have enough time. If I don't add more streams, I won't have enough time to play. Oh, hold on. Oh. Don't want to put those next to each other because what will happen is it'll do 2Zs and 3Zs in there, and it won't do it as a full solid. So there we go. So we've got that upgraded. We've got to understand the difference between leaving a 2 gap at the end, leaving a 1 gap at the end for our expansion of our system. Now, also what we could do is we could use a 2 gap to offset 1 extra. And you're like, Kismet, what do you mean? Why would you offset 1 extra? Well, the reason why you would offset one extra is if you wanted to run something along the edges there, like metro stations and things like that. You can leave a 2 gap, so you can put your metro station in the front and, of course, your walk paths around the back of it right there. Now, I like them to be right up into the corner and then leave a 3rd area in the middle so that we, of course, have enough gap for the thing there. Now, just so you know, we're going to just kind of do this city a little bit, and we'll probably start the city over again with the proper offsetting. That helps a lot. Now, if you make a mistake, if you start the city and you're like, you know what, that's not kind of what I wanted. The offsets are not coming out right. I didn't do the math right. I screwed it up. There's 2 options. Of course, you can start over again, or what you can do, of course, is bulldoze everything and then try to rework it. Make sure you got lots of cash like I do before you do that. By the way, notice that I'm making even more money than I made before, and I don't even have as much industrial as I did before. Did you notice that? Now, why is that? Why is that? Because when I expanded, I got rid of those lower-end businesses, and, of course, some bigger-end businesses came in, and it kind of refreshes your economy sometimes. Now, it doesn't always do that. Sometimes you can send it into the toilet. But it refreshes the economy, and, of course, it brings in, allows more people to come home and work in that particular spot. And it kind of centralizes where your people are working. Great for if you're trying to adjust your traffic as well, which we'll talk about later on. All right, now, when I see that my industrial starting to get filled up, I will add another line of industrial like that. You don't have to put it all down at once. I'll add it as I go. All right. We need a lot of residential, a lot of commercial. So we're going to keep on extending our residential here as we go. And we're going to go ahead and start up the game, let it keep going. And we're going to again line up here by the middle where we want our footpaths eventually. And then we'll leave a 4 gap, another 4 gap. And look at that as it lines up perfectly to the edge of the road. Very nice, very nice. Again, I find pre-thinking things out is a lot less frustrating later on when you're just costing you a fortune. You're losing a fortune because you're bulldozing and redoing and bulldozing and redoing. It does cost you a lot of time and cost to do that. Oh, let's take this one out. Let's add a 4 in there temporarily. Now, I add a house here at the end. Eventually, so that or along the way, so that I can get that little bit of extra income. Also a great place for commercial, by the way. If you want to go ahead and take this out, add that commercial in, that eventually will disappear. Watch as it does it automatically, which I think is super cool. Let's speed it up. Watch as automatically it will take the house out because I've rezoned it. Usually, it'll take it out and then, of course, redo it. Now, of course, you can speed it up by just simply doing that, because if you de-zone it, actually, that thing will eventually disappear, and then the commercial will eventually come back. But we'll speed it along. I can't stand to let it just sit. Now, as you can see, we've kind of screwed up some of our stuff here at the end here because we expanded this road, which kind of screwed up all of our kind of residential at the end. Again, that's going to disrupt our income because, of course, we're taking out. Look at that. Look how that turned out perfect. It's going to disrupt our income. Dax Platinum coming in. 7 months sub love. Holy mackerel. Look at that. 7 already. Where are all my months? They're all right there. Your little baby dragon is getting growed up. You never know. You're getting there. You're getting there. I can't wait to see who's got the very first 12-month sub love, who gets that next level sub badge. Nobody knows what it is except for me and Ash Angel. We're the only ones who know what it is. Can't wait for you guys to get it. All right, so we're going to keep on going here. We're going to keep on letting that run. We're going to fill back in that. And it's okay to disrupt a little bit, but if you disrupt too much, oh, look at that trash. Hold on, we got a trash problem. Look at that trash problem. I'm going to hit the space bar. What's going on over here with my trash? Oh, no, my trash thing is full. All right, that is a bummer, bro. That is a bummer, Rooney. All right, so I'm going to create a side road here. Let's go ahead and get it roads. Let's create a side road here that is going to basically contain a lot of our trash away from our main city over here. So we're out of trash. Now, this is a way to make your whole entire city cascade into failure, is to ignore the cash, or ignore the trash and ignore your cash, as well as to ignore people dying. If too many people die and it fills up, it's going to cause a backlash across your entire city. So I'm going to add another one of these, which is going to, of course, add more trucks on the road for my thing. There they go. You can see the little purple trucks actually correspond to whatever you're putting down. And they're going to go out there and they're going to pick up that trash. Let's go ahead and watch them as they show up way over here. Eventually. There we go. There they go. They're coming through. There we go. And as you can see, the stuff is changing color. That color means from a denser amount. There we go. Look at that guy going right down the street picking that up. It's going from a denser amount to a less denser, right? The blue means that it's good. And then, of course, the darker it gets, the more red it gets, the worse it is getting on that particular road. Now, I actually will eventually add incinerators at the end of the line here so they can go right down the middle of the area much easier. And I'll also add it on the other side over here eventually. But I don't like to do that early on because eventually I'm going to have to empty all of this once I hit and get that next level stuff. So let's keep going, everybody, while they're picking up all of that trash. And our industrial's starting to go up. And, of course, once we get that trash under control, we'll start to see more expansion. Let's go ahead and put 4 more of these down. Got room for 4 there. 1 here. 1 there. All right, looking good. Looking good. How are we looking on power? Oh, our power's starting to go down. If my power starts to go down at all, I get paranoid because I sometimes forget. And I just like bada boom. Drop another power thing down, make sure I'm good. How are we looking on water? That water and sewage starting to go down. Now, you don't have to jump on it right away because it's not down in the yellow zone. You can leave it. If you're kind of hurting for cash, you can leave it, but I'm not hurting for cash. I'm going to go ahead and just add it. Now, notice how I'm going to add to the right on the sewage so it doesn't get too close to my intake of water. And I'm going to add to the left on the water. So, again, so it doesn't get close to the sewage that way. To the sewage that way. Very easy to do. And then, of course, it's going to get power from this one. It's going to change there. And then the same thing in this direction. And, of course, I've connected the pipes, and now my sewage and water are running. And I've got perfect sewage and water. Let's look at our garbage. Our garbage is at 54%. So I would imagine that we're going to need actually 2 landfills. So we're going to go ahead and add a second one here. And there we go. As I say, about 30-40% is pretty great. Let's go ahead and check in on how's our health care. Average 64%. That's not too bad. I usually like it to be about 70 or 80%. Death care, how are we looking? Only 13% used in the cemetery. That's good. Looking good there. Eventually, of course, when we get to 18,000 and here at the hospital, we'll get that going as well. That'll help us a lot when we get to 5,500 peeps. We're going to go ahead and just let it run now. While we're playing, we're going to go ahead and build it up while we're letting it run. Let's go ahead and work on this other side over here. Now, this time when I make roads, I'm actually going to make them at the size that they need to be, right? And I'm going to actually just run this to the edge and then stop. So that outer road is going to be the larger road. This road here going to be right like this. This is going to be my in-road here, and so on. We're just going to make that kind of like that. Now, these roads here are going to be smaller roads and are going to be residential. So I'm going to go ahead and use my smaller roads. Again, they don't have to be fancy roads. I'm going to go ahead and just use the cheapest roads I can so I can keep my income going. Now, I can just, again, let this run for a while because it's very stable, the city, and, of course, come back and have like $5 million bucks. But I prefer to, again, do it as I go. So again, what do we need? We need more residential. Residential is how you make your money. So you got to keep adding that residential to keep bringing in them dollar bills. So I'm going to go ahead and add it right here in this corner, leave a gap again. And we're going to actually just use the zoning to figure out where our road should be. Right, and there's 4, and there's 4 right there. Oh, look at how that turned out perfect. Because at the end here, of course, it's going to take up 2 spaces along the way. Josie with some bits! Thank you so much for the 30 bits, Josie. Thanks so much for the love. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. I see Nushki in the chat. Hanging out as well. Made Poop Beach. Okay. Unfortunately, the first time I played, I didn't pay attention to the water flow and made Poop Beach. There you go. Nasty. Nasty. I have been to the beach when it's like that, and ugh. Look. Bought myself some brand new stuff in there. I bought myself some brand new sandals. Brand new. Cost me like 30 bucks. Put them on. I go down to the beach. I'm walking along, and I don't know, there's some oil spill or whatever. But as I'm walking along, the oil attached itself to those things and adhered to my flip-flops. And then by the time I got down to the beach, I looked down. I go, what the heck? And my flip-flops were toast. I threw them away. So literally, I had $30 for one walk down the beach on those flip-flops. So watch out for that. Uh-oh, look out. We need some water over here. So let's go ahead and get our water going on. All the rest of the way here. And I'm going to go ahead and just do it here. Now notice how you can do vertically or you can do horizontally. I don't know. I kind of switch each time. Sometimes I do vertically. Sometimes I do horizontally. I don't know. It's just fun to kind of mix it up each time. In the long run, as long as you're kind of spacing them in such a way that you're getting your most efficiency, you're doing good. All right, so there we go. That's going to make it easier for those peeps to move in. So now what I did first is I spread the power across. That's the first thing I do. The reason why I do that is to spread that power. Let's keep going. To spread the power, and then once I spread the power, of course, I can start doing these kind of long things down the middle. Now, one thing we got to watch out for is we need a gap, of course, for footpaths, right? So we'll probably end up without footpaths because we're too close to the edge here. But there's something we can do to fix that. Let's see if there's a way we can do to fix this end here so we can have footpaths down the middle like we've been doing on the rest of these. Well, the way to do that is, of course, you go to your world here and you can actually buy that land. If you have 3,800, you can purchase that land. And look, your city just got twice as big. Isn't that awesome? I think that's totally cool. And then over here, of course, we can go ahead and buy down this way. Boom. And there we go. Now it's 3 times as big as it was. And I like to do that right about now when I have enough cash. And there we go. Now I have the power over this freeway here. And over here, I can adjust that however I want. And now I've got the ability also to kind of figure out this a little bit better on this. So we want to leave a gap. So I'm going to take these 2 houses out. And, of course, we're going to leave a gap for those footpaths so peeps can walk in there. So I'm going to go 4 there. Those are going to automatically disappear. 4, 4. And then I need another 4 here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to get 5 on that other side. So, again, you can actually expand your city. I think that's probably one of the coolest things about this game is that you don't have a tiny little city. I can't believe that SimCity would force you to have tiny little cities. I don't get it. You know, at this day and age, you know, 2018 or 2009 or 5 or whatever, whenever that game came out, the online version, the cities were too small. I'm just going to be honest. They were too small, and it sucked, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to, of course, leave a gap for the larger road, or we just put the larger road down to start. Let's just go and put that larger road down, and then we can just run it right along that edge, like so that we know it's perfectly lined up in there, because we've got the cash now to just start with these larger roads. And again, we'll go ahead and make it proper across. So sometimes you want to wait to add your inroads, and sometimes you can add them right in the very beginning. I love this. Look at how it lines it up automatically. Isn't that cool? That's from your grids right here. You can go ahead and pop this up. You can turn your snap to grids on. Genius. Genius level stuff. And let's go ahead and create these crossroads. There we go. Now we've got expansion to our city. We've left a gap down the middle for our stuff in both directions. And we can also add, way over here, we're going to add some more of these services over there once we hit that 5,500. Now, I'm trying to hit that 5,500. You try to hit those levels because, of course, you get bonus cash for hitting those levels, as well as your city has a tendency to, you know, have a sense of momentum and keep going, even though you may not have a lot of cash, you might have enough to keep it going item after item. There we go. Thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer. Manic T, thank you so much for coming in, dropping in, crushing the follow button, dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing the follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Of course, every one of those hosts as well helps. Thank you so much to Dax for that host. If you do want to host the channel, if you want to help out the channel, make sure to go to your channel in that upper right-hand corner there. Open it up in a new window. Go /host Kismet, whether you're a streamer or not. Every single one of those hosts does help the stream. I do appreciate it greatly. Now, if you are enjoying the stream, consider hitting that follow button, just like Manic just did. Or hit that subscribe button, because I do a lot of content here, both day and night streams. I'm playing a whole bunch of different games. Of course, Cities Skylines, Fallout Shelter. We're playing Subnautica now. Of course, lots of Fallout. I love me some Fallout. 7 Days to Die. We're playing, of course, Warframe. We're playing tons of games. That's why I'm a variety streamer way above and beyond. I love to play different games with you guys here on the stream. And discover things and show you the things I discovered along the way, or stuff I've already discovered and kind of show you the stuff like we're doing here in Cities Skylines. That when I've played it offline and said, hey, look at this. I learned this cool thing. I got to show everybody on stream this cool thing. There we go. Look at that. Filling in. Filling in. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rigbo, for the host. I'm so happy this game went on sale. There you go. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Josie told me that before the stream. My bad, everybody. My bad. Josie, let's go ahead and put a link in the chat. Oh, she already got it in there. Look at that. Josie is always on top of it. Man, see, that's a good mod who thinks of stuff before you think of it. See? Which is not too hard in my case, because I forget stuff. But, yeah, City Skylines right now is on sale. You could get this game. You could get this game right now. You could get it. Now, am I going to make anything if you go buy this game from Steam? No, I don't make nothing. But you get to have some fun, and that's what's awesome. So, City Skylines right now on sale, both the deluxe and regular version. The regular version, $7.49. Can you believe it? I paid full price. And also, the deluxe version is $10. $10. I paid full price for this game, and it's still worth it. It's still worth every single penny, but you can get it on sale right now on Steam. I would run over there and grab it if I were you. I just like, boom, 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 $10. Got it. Nailed it. They've also got some other expansions as well for the game. One called Green Cities they came out with, which looks pretty cool. I might, of course, play that on stream at some point. But I really do love what they've done. So what you got to do when you're making a product, it doesn't matter whether it's a game, it doesn't matter whether it's a phone, it doesn't matter what it is. You can't just make a little bit of a better product. You can't just make the same product. You've got to make a much better product. It can't just be the same. Like, this just can't be the same exact carbon copy of SimCity. It can't be that. It's got to be way more than they did. And they were genius in the fact that they looked at SimCity and said, they made too small a cities. Because look at this. Look at this. I can actually expand my city to this, right? It can be that big. It can be even bigger than that. That's right. As I make I get more and more population, I can actually expand, and make a big old massive city, which you'll see me do over time. Here we go. But again, as you can see, we are adding here more and more residential, because we're trying to hit that 5,500 right now. We want to add more residential, more commercial. Just kind of sweep over that there. There we go. And then right here, this is really easy. Notice how all of these have filled in, right? Once all of these is filled in, you can actually just do a big blanket like that. See? And then they're going to be perfectly squared out, right? And this is probably my best tip right here, is to do them in groups of 4 using your kind of marquee tool. I didn't even know that was there, by the way. I just kept doing the bucket all the time when I first started playing. But they have an awesome marquee tool that gives you really control over each and every plot. So those plots fill into a 4x4 full-size square first. And then you come back and you fill in the parts in between so that you're getting the maximum out of your gridding as well. If you're trying to do a square grid like I am. Just to kind of do a Los Angeles style grid. Now I could add some more industrial here, and look at my industrial coming back now. Look at that cash and make it even more. $3,000, but Dolla Dolla Bills, everybody. Dolla Dolla Bills. Now you did see it drop down. It dropped down about 300-400 when I kind of disrupted my industrial. But now we're doing good. We have lots of cash. We got 250 grand right now. 250 grand. We are making the dollar bills. So let's keep going, everybody. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead and upgrade our roads, something I like to do. And, of course, we're going to disrupt all this commercial here. Let's disrupt those roads. Let's go ahead and make these roads. See, now I don't have to worry so much about the tiny roads causing all sorts of stuff, right? And, again, we're going to disrupt all of our stuff. So we don't have to actually build any longer with small roads. Though sometimes you do. If you were just trying to figure something out, build with these dirt roads first. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go through and I'm actually disrupt this right here. Look at this. Will not upgrade that because it's already occupied by something. What is it that's causing that to do that, right? And that's because I have this curve here of this particular road, right? So this is coming down here. This is curving here. I'm actually going to take this road out like this, like so. And I'm actually going to go ahead and build a road. Comes all the way down, lines up, and like that. See? So I've kind of have to fix that road first and then put my other road back in again. Again, you're like, Kismet, you wasted all that space in between. Why don't you just create a road across there? No, 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 no. 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 Don't do it. Don't do it. Because what happens is you got this coming in. You got these people crossing over. And this becomes a nightmare right there. That becomes the worst spot in your entire city right there. Don't do it. Offset your inches. Offset them in this direction. Now, what's a way we could even do it even cooler? Come on, Kismet. Show us the cool stuff. Show us the cool stuff up in here. You're right. Let's do it. Let's show the cool stuff right now. Now, I'm going to do something even else. I'm going to go ahead and stop it for a second. I'm going to take that road out. That road is out of there. I'm taking it out of there. Let's do some cool stuff. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to create an exit that they don't have to go along the regular streets. I'm going to create an underground freeway right now. It's going to be awesome. So let's go ahead and get our double lane freeway here. So we've got lots of freeway things. And I'm going to go ahead and click right here. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to go ahead and use my page up and page down to go underground. Because we've got some cash now that we can start building some underground stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and build it underground here. And notice how it's going in the wrong direction. I'm going to show you how to fix that in just a second. And I'm also going to create another one over here that's coming off this road and going underground right here. Now, you notice the difference in the style, the look of it? That's because we're underground. As I do page up, now this is kind of ground level. Page up again will take me up to an upper level and so on. The page up and page down allows you to control how deep you go or how up high your bridges are. So there we go. So we've done that. So I like to do the entrances and exits first, right? You just do those, and that helps you a lot. Now I'm going to let these guys go underground and kind of turn around and go back this way like that. So basically, they're going to come back, cross the road, and then go back in there. Now, I could put it on this side of the road also, so they don't have to cross the road, right? So they don't have to cross the road to go in the thing. And that actually is a smarter idea to do because what they can do is they can exit on that side without having to cross your middle main road, which is disrupting your traffic, right? They're going from one side to another. So let's do that as well. I'm going to do it right here up to here, and we're going to go ahead and page down and try to put that road in there. There we go. Now, here's the cool thing is I could go ahead and just do a little, you want to do a little road first. You don't want to do this. Don't do that. Because sometimes it kind of gets messed up. What I like to do is I'd like to do a little road first. It gives me the power to actually take it and run it a little bit longer and try to get it to hit where I want it to hit, right? Now, as you can see, it doesn't quite work there. Now, how do we take it out, right? Oh, it disappeared. Well, if you want to take it out while you're in your bulldozer, you do page down to get to the subterranean, and then you can take it out. And then you can go ahead and try to run it across there like this. Notice how it doesn't work now because I do this small little road, and for some reason, now it's not connecting in there. There we go, and there we go. Now, of course, we could also create a perfect edge like you saw it do there for just a split second. Bulldozer. I could be using my shortcuts. All right, we'll take that out. I find it's actually sometimes easy to do it in one motion. Okay. Now, look how much nicer that road is. Sometimes it's nicer to do it in one motion. Sometimes it's nicer to do it in multiple motion. Now, why did I put one over here and over here? Well, this whole area over here is now going to be able to exit here. Anybody coming back up the road that I'm going to put here, it's going to be over the top of this, can go across and go into there. Now, also, way over here on this side, for people who are down here, all the trucks coming in and out here, can also use this as an exit. So I can create another one here or over here. I'm going to go ahead and create it right here. Again, offset that, put it down under. Now, it is going to block your zoning of that area because it is a ramp. And then again, run it back this way like so. With a nice little arch, or you can make it straight if you want. You can do a lot of fun stuff. But there we go. So now we've got some underground exits, right? Now I've got to fix this little spot right here. See the two little things on one side and another? Those are telling me that this is not going to work, basically. So I go ahead and get my upgrade tool, and I right-click, and it changes the direction of my road. That took me a long time to figure that out. I kept bulldozing it and redoing it and bulldozing and redoing it. I didn't realize that you could just make it and then switch the direction of the road, which is way easier when you're doing a lot of complex roads than to just try to bulldoze it and try to do it over and over again until you get it the right way. So there you go. One of those awesome Kismet tips. Now I'm going to go back up and look. We see nothing, right? Up here on the road level, we don't see nothing, right? We just see the entrance and exits. And watch as my traffic changes pattern automatically, which I think is one of the coolest things of the game as well. Now, I'm going to try to run across. You can see I can't run across. I can't run to here. But I can create what I call a little blip like this and a little bit like that. And now we're getting a little bit of style in our city, right? Not such a grid. It's a little bit of style, you know, when you start adding stuff with that stuff. Now, I actually also have the ability to control the freeway over here because I extended that way. So I could actually offset the entrance and exits. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and offset the entrance and exits here a little bit. Instead of having it right there, let's go ahead. And notice how it says refund, by the way. Let's go ahead and actually take this road out. To make it perfect, right? You're like, Kismet, I can't handle it, bro. It's not perfect. That's okay. So we'll take that out. We're going to go ahead and make a nice perfect road here. Now, this is okay. That's okay now. Now, why is it okay to do it now? Because this exit is not going to be right here. So they're not going to be, you know, blocking the entrance and exits. To exit, they actually have to go up to the second road here to exit the actual city, instead of trying to exit right next to the entrance, which really screws you up. It really causes massive traffic later on. So let's go ahead and run this a little bit further underground. Oh, I want to make sure I've got my freeway. Get my freeway here. Run this a little bit perfect underground. I'm going to go ahead and actually take this right away. Run that underground right off the freeway here. Now notice how it's going in the wrong direction. Kismet's going the wrong direction again. No worries. We'll get our upgrade tool. We'll right click. Now it's going in the right direction to exit the location. We'll now look here. We'll go ahead and get up to the main road. Look at that. Look at that. Is that like the coolest thing ever or what? Subterranean exits. Now you're like, Kismet, I don't believe you, bro. Those trucks just look like they're disappearing. They just look like you're disappearing. Let me see you tag one of them trucks. And let's see it doing its thing, right? All right, I'm going to tag this truck right here. I'm going to go ahead and follow that truck, and let's see if it goes underground. It's going to do its delivery. Turn around. Wait for the light. And underground it goes all the way to the exit and onto the freeway. Is that cool? Now, again, when you're making something, when you're making a game, you can't make it a little bit better. You've got to make it a lot better. When you're making anything in life, you want to be a lot better than everybody else, and that kind of stuff is why Cities Skylines is just such a huge leap forward over the normal Sim City. And that's a bummer because I love Sim City, and I love the whole thing of it. Frankly, they should have hired all the people from Cities Skylines instead. But yeah, Cities Skylines, they did an amazing, amazing job on this. So look at that, and all that traffic now is gone. And of course, it opens up this area now for the cross traffic. It opens up so people can come in and just make a left here and then service all of this stuff here. And then there isn't that massive amount of traffic that's building up right here that happens every single time you create a entrance and exit right there next to each other. Look at this. Look at them. They're using it right away. They're using it right away. We got all sorts of people using that entrance and exits. There goes a truck there. We got other people coming in, other stuff going this way. There we go. Some residential, commercial, using that exit to get in and out of there. Now, like Kismet, how can you really see your traffic? This is the coolest thing ever. You ready? You click this button right here, and bam, you can click on any road. Actually, let me get out of that zoning. You click on any road or entrance or exits, like the freeway. And look at this. We can see the pattern of how our trucks are going, right? So these are our traffic routes. So as the trucks come in, they are, of course, coming in here. Some are going forward and then turning around and servicing this side. Some are going this side, servicing that side. And, of course, off the freeways they go. So let's go ahead and just check this road here. And we can see that people are using our entrance and exits, right? From over here. So who's using it? Who is this? Who's the brown line? Let's look over here in our key to see which one's using the brown line. The trucks are using it the most. So the trucks are getting off the roads, which of course is helping my traffic tremendously because they're going in and off. Now, who's going into this one here? Who's utilizing this entrance and exit? Let's click on it. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there goes a truck there. Dropping that off and back onto the freeway he goes. I love the subterranean things. Now, they do cost a lot more, but for entrance and exits on your city, they are priceless. Priceless to use. So, yeah, great way to check your traffic routes of all your stuff coming in and out. Now, I like, of course, all of my industrial be very close to the freeway so they can come in, do what they need to do, and then get the heck out of my city so they're not burning up all of my traffic. Now, look at my nice flow of traffic out here by my cities, right? Very light traffic. Occasionally, you'll see a bus go by, but very light traffic, so you're not blocking their ability to go from one place to another. Now, I'm going to be nice to them now, and I'm going to actually upgrade the roads to increase the property value. I'm holding down the left button. Look at them getting happy. They're like, yay, no more dirt road. No more dirt road. Kismet is the best. He's the greatest ever. Now, dirt roads are great in the beginning, but once you start to have some cash, you can go ahead and upgrade this, make your people happy by having them some nice upgraded roads. Now, I could leave it there for a while, by the way. I don't have to upgrade at this point. I could leave it there until about 20,000 peeps, but we're going to go ahead and do some upgrades. Fancy up our city a little bit here, because again, we got plenty of cash. And I like to play while the game is running. I like to do upgrades. I like to keep going. Usually I'll stop just to show you guys. But normally when I'm playing, I like to let it keep going to see if I can keep up with it as I play, which is a lot of fun. All right, we need a massive amount of industrial because we got tons of people moving into our fancy schmancy city here. Let's go ahead and utilize. Look at this. Nice, nice. Now, we still got this weird kind of gap right here because of the kind of angle of that corner, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll go with it. And again, we'll go ahead and put the 4 down there. We'll leave a 4 gap. Look at that. Perfect. Perfectly lines up. Nice, nice, nice. I'm going to de-zone that one and de-zone this one. Now, we've got a problem out here because we extended this road. Look at our power actually is making it where our zoning is getting messed up. So we need to get some power way out here to these guys. But we've got some stuff over here, right? We got some stuff way out here that we can just go ahead and run it from over here now to here. And we can go ahead and get rid of this long line of power, which is now disrupting our ability to expand our city and also expand our industrial over here. There we go. See, we removed it, and now we're getting our 4 instead of our 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and de-zone that in case I just only got 3 out of that. And get the 4. There we go. And 4. And again, notice how I leave the gaps. Leave the gappies so that my industrial can fill in, bring the power to those areas, and so on. Now I'm going to also do what I call the long run. Oops, something funky going on there with the road. So that funkiness with the road there. Take that out. That's not right. There we go. Take that guy out. Take this out. There we go. 4 lane there. I got a 5 here. Let's take that out. Now, see, zone that in properly and see what happens. Look, we got a 2 and we got a 3. I don't want that to happen. I want it to be exactly 4. So that one business is maximizing its size. And then once it's in there, of course, I'm going to go ahead and run it like this. This is kind of funky up here because the change in the elevation. Right there. This one. Something wrong there. Hold on. That's all wrong. All wrong. I forgot to go from the center. My bad. My bad. Forgot to go from the center. Screwed that up. Take it out. Take it out. And of course you can speed it along by bulldozing. Like that. Put all these little ones. Stop it. Stop it with that. Oh, I left some zoning. See, that's my bad. That's my bad. Stop it with that growing up in there. And again, once you have your stable, your city's fairly stable, you can do these kind of big changes like I'm doing here. Oops, screwed it up again. Kismet, get it together, bro. Get it together. We're trying to leave some footpaths down the center. Get it together. There we go. All right, now we're looking better. We got this weird gap here. Let's see if we can go ahead and try to fix that weird gap. Let's take this one out. Let's take this road out. See if we can go ahead and put the road back in again and see if that fixes our gap problem. Oh, gotta go to the road. That'd be helpful. Nope, still got that gap problem on this road, but now no longer on this road. See that? See how it fixed it up there, but not down here? We can also go in, try some elevation. Adjust the elevation of the road, right? So kind of adjust this part right here. Get that a little bit more elevated. Now, I just do a little bit. You don't want to do too much, because otherwise it starts making your roads all funky. But there we go. Still got that problem. Let's go ahead and take out this one, like this. Run it from this side. And there we go. We've got more of a gap now over here instead of over here. So your gap just kind of like moves, right? It moves along. Let's take out this road. And actually, this is up too high. There, that's up too high. Let's go ahead and flatten that out by using this one. We right-click to get the elevation, and then we can go ahead and hold down the left mouse button to try to, you know, even that, flatten that out a little bit so it's not so much. And so on, and then we'll go ahead and try to run our road this time all the way and see if that fixes our gap. Aha! It fixed the gap. There you go. So it's a little gap fixing Kismet trick there for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed doing it. All right, we go like doing this, and we got to take this out because it's only 3. There we go. We'll get that 4 in there. Again, we'll watch our line here. Now, again, it offsets a little bit because of the elevation. So you're going to have this kind of weirdness across there. Thing you can do is go ahead and put your footpaths down like this. And it creates like a crossover because there's kind of like an offset of the road, which I find is really odd. But you do something like that, and then now you know kind of where to zone on this other side. Like this. There and there. And there we go. It's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's going to be funky. Funky chicken. Up. Screwed that up. Screwed that up. Get out of there. Bad selecting there. Alright, again, we're just adding some industrial. And as the other industrial comes in, we'll add this industrial in. There we go. And let's go ahead and speed up a little bit here. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to go a little bit faster and try to get a lot of this filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you notice, I'm leaving a 4 gap. Again, notice how it gets funky in certain spots. That if depending on where you start is where you can get it. Again, look, we got some elevation going there and elevation going over here because we're fooling around with our elevation, which is nice. You can go ahead and kind of fix it, but my kind of whole entire city slopes down to the left. So we got to basically fix that as we go, or we can come back and fix it later. It's really, really up to you. But they'll actually, when they put in their businesses, they will actually level the ground in such a way that it will work across the way. See, as you can see, it's kind of elevated. It's now elevated the ground a little by little by little, and then eventually it'll kind of stop when you hit that kind of break point. And again, let's rotate. I'm gonna rotate. There we go. Trying to rotate my view. And again, just keep on adding it. Get those dollar bills. Get those dollar bills. And now this is all kind of messed up. Again, we're having a road issue because of this. We won't worry about that for now. I don't like to add it if it's not 4 square. Of course, we've got plenty of room over here for industrial. And that's about it. That's about as much you need right now because look, it's saying it needs more workers. So we need more residential. So we're trying to hit 5,500 right now. And we're going to go ahead and check our power. Looking good. Food, water, looking good. Garbage getting up there again. Garbage is getting up there again. We got to add some more garbage down here. You're going to have a bunch of these by the time you're done, by the way. And I like to just stick them way off to the side. Like this. I'm going to add 3 of them this round. And again, we got to get our people trained up. Now, we've got a whole bunch of services over here, but we want to go ahead and add them over here on the far side because eventually we're going to add even more over here. So let's go ahead and think about what we're doing on this side. And we're going to go through and just do basically what we've done before. We're going to go ahead and get our health care here. And we're going to look for where our footpath is. And we're going to go ahead and offset it just a little bit from our footpath. Very nice. And then, of course, we're going to get our schooling. We'll get our elementary. Oh, thanks so much to Andreas B. dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to Texas Vet also for that host. Appreciate the love. Do you have any DICs? DLCs. That almost looked wrong there for a second, Noochki. DLCs. I have some of the DLCs. I do not have all the DLCs, and I do not have any of them turned on right now. I'm just playing the base game. Just playing the base game right now. Eventually, I will add the DLCs after we kind of play up the base game. You know how I am. I love to play the base game first, and then, of course, add DLC, and then, of course, add other things down the road, like mods if they have them, that kind of thing. All right, so we put our services right there, but I'm like, Kismet, you screwed up, brother. You screwed up. You forgot to upgrade your road first. Now, I'm going to show you how to fix that if you do screw that up. We're going to go through and we're going to try to upgrade it. You can't upgrade it because it's already occupied. So that means that this thing is in the way. Now, what I was doing when I first started playing the game is I would bulldoze it and I would lose all my cash. You don't want to do that. There's a button right here. Let me go ahead and stop the game for a second. There's a button right here. Let me get my red arrow. Bam, Rooney. There's a button right here that allows you to move this, right? Now, I want it to be in this spot. This is where I want it to be, but I screwed up. I didn't upgrade the road first, and now if I want to upgrade the road, I got to bulldoze it or I've got to move it. Now, moving it is much cheaper, by the way, than bulldozing it in some cases. So I'm going to go ahead and relocate this building. It's going to cost me $2,000 to relocate it. Now, if I was going to buy it again, it would cost me a lot more, right? If I would go, I was like, oh, I put it down, I want to bulldoze it, do it again. It was going to cost me $10,000 to bulldoze it and then get it back. Though I can, if I was paused at the time and I deleted, I would get some of that money back. But what I do is I just move it if I make a mistake. I come back. I then, of course, upgrade my road because this is my outer road, right, of my city, of kind of the inner part of my city anyway. This is the outer road, so I'm going to go ahead and go to upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this road. Now, I can't upgrade where I just put it, right? I can only upgrade where I don't have any utilities. Then I'm going to grab it again, move it again, cost me another $2,000. And I'm going to go ahead and look and see where my footpath's running. And then put that down. And that only cost me $4,000 as opposed to $10,000. So I actually just saved some money. Now, if you want to save even more money, put it down before you put your services down. That's an even smarter idea. I also like to put my footpaths in so it gives me a good visual of where I'm going to put stuff as well as my cross footpath. Now we'll go ahead and put in the rest of our stuff here. We're going to go ahead and put our elementary school. Again, that's a clinic, by the way. Put that in there, elementary school. We'll put another high school in. And because, of course, the more people we add, of course, the more capacity we need for this in the long run. Also makes our peeps nice and happy. I also like to put in a park. I like to do this basic park, and I like to put it right next to our kind of cross path here. And look at how many people get happy from that. Look at that. Nice, nice. And I've already got one over here you can see running. And there we go. Now, of course, this is going to be a very busy place, so we're eventually going to have to go ahead and do some more busing. So let's go ahead and take a look at our bus lines right now. We've got, of course, our bus lines going in circles here. We want to cross over now our bus lines so that the bus lines will go here and people can walk to the bus lines from their houses. Look at those upgrades. Look at everybody upgrading their house all of a sudden, right? Because they're right by the services. So, of course, you get massive upgrades to the tier of the houses. And you're like, Kismet, what are you talking about, the tier of the houses? Well, the houses basically are in various tiers, right? So you've got the first tier all the way up to the 5th tier when it comes to residential, 3 tiers of various other stuff, commercial, offices, and industrial. And, of course, the more services you add around their area, of course, the more they upgrade. Like way out here, look at this. We're getting no upgrades, right? No upgrades. Now, I like to put services every other one, right? So every other block. Because all these people could walk this way or all these people could walk that way. And eventually we're going to add another block here which can go that way. So they can choose which way they want to go. These guys can choose which way they want to go, and then I'll put some more over here wherever they want to go. And I like to put it on the back side of the city so that your industrial and your education are not competing with each other down that kind of main road. Because if you put everything on the same road, holy mackerel, that's a traffic nightmare right there. That's a traffic nightmare. So let's go ahead and build some bus lines. Now, I don't need to build another one of these bus centers. I just need to build some more bus routes. So let's go ahead and look at our current bus routes. There we go. And actually, I should be able to do it by going like this. There we go. And we've got our current bus routes going from up here down to there. Uh-oh, we didn't have enough workers again. From up here to down here, and we've got it going in a counterclockwise manner. Now, I'm going to add another line, but I'm going to add it here. And you're like, Kismet, why don't you add it all the way around the outside? Well, the reason why you don't want to do that is because, again, you want these people to walk into the middle, these people to walk in the middle, right? Bus lines typically run down major roads and not down residential streets, though there are exceptions to that rule. But mostly, that's what happens. Now, I also want to have overlap of my bus lines. And you're like, wait a minute, why do you want to run the same bus line down the same spot? Well, if the people who live way over here work way down over here, you want to have an overlap of where they could take a bus line. They walk to the end of their block. They take a bus line. It takes them down. They go all the way, or even over here. Let's say they take a bus line. They go all the way down, all the way across. And then I stop right here, or I stop along this edge, right? Then they can get out and walk to wherever they work, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and add that. Now, I like to add it right at the bus line itself. So I'm going to go ahead and move off just a little bit and create a new line, right? So you got to be real careful with your cursor. I'm going to create a new line, and this line is going to start from that bus stop, and it's going to go ahead and stop, let's say, right about there. Looking good. Going to make everybody happy. We're going to go ahead and go onto this first line. There we go. We're going to skip a couple blocks and then make another one, very much like we've done on this other side here. And then skip a couple more blocks. I'll put one down here, which I don't think I've really done on that one. Let's put one down here in the middle of this industrial. Again, don't put too many bus stops. And then we're going to go ahead and make it where they can get out and work over here, or get out, work over there. Either way, and again, we're going to skip a couple, and we're going to kind of overlap some of these. So they can get on this bus over here, travel around, get off this bus, and then take another bus wherever they're going, right? So they can transfer buses. So you want to think about how are they going to transfer one bus to another. Now, when you're finishing, look at this weird kind of loop I have to do to make that work, right? To make that work to go in there. I don't like that, so I'm going to right-click to get rid of that bus stop. I'm going to make everybody unhappy for a second. And then I'm going to click early. And then I can go ahead and sweep around. Now, I can also actually add a bus stop on this side. And then there's my complete circuit. And I've got a kind of a little extra here, right? So the people here, if they want to take this bus, can just simply walk across the street, take that bus, and then take another bus wherever they want to go. So you don't have to actually put them on top of each other, just close to each other, and they will walk from one bus stop to another, hopefully. So there we go. So we've got our one going here. Now we can also go in, look at the color of it here. We're going to make this one purple. There we go. Now we know we've got that one going in that direction. So we want one going in, obviously, the other direction as well. So I'm going to create another, add a complete line. There we go. I forgot to complete the line. I got to click the line to complete the line. Let's start a new line. Again, you got to go up just a little bit off the side, right, to create that new line. There we go. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to go ahead and basically mirror wherever I put stops before. I'm going to mirror them across the street. So people can just literally walk across the street and get different lines going in different directions. So if they came this way to go to a commercial and now they want to go back to their house, they could cross the street, get on the other bus, and go the other way. It's very much like at Disneyland, by the way. You'll notice at Disneyland they have bus stops on opposite sides of the road. So if you are coming to Disneyland, you're getting off on one side, and of course you're going to Disneyland. But if you're coming out of Disneyland, of course you cross the street and you go to the other bus, and then of course you're going back to wherever you came from. A great example of bus lines. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of double up with some of the bus lines that are already there. Cross the street bus line there. Up here, cross the street bus line. Cross the street bus line. And let's put one about on the other side. Let's put one down here. And sometimes I offset it like that too. And boom, there we go. And of course, I like to change the color right away so I know what it is. One is usually the... what I call counterclockwise, and one is the clockwise. I usually do one light, one dark. And there we go. So now we've done even more. We have 156 people were taking the bus earlier, or I think it was 130 people. And you're going to see that rise as, of course, more people walk to the bus stops and start to use that as well. Whoop, there we go. See, 173 people now taking the bus. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our new bus stops here. Let's go ahead and get out of here. And let's take a look. Look at that. People already lining up to take the bus. Now, you might be like, Kismet, do you have enough buses or do you have too many buses for your bus lines? Aha, great question. Great question. I know you all were thinking. Sorry, new laptop, getting used to my keyboard. There you go. There we go. So yeah, I don't have any DLCs installed. Now again, if you have a comment or question for me, my name is Kismet. Sometimes I do get very, very focused in playing the game or discussing a bit about cool things I found about the game. Feel free to use my name and we'll attach to the top of the chat and stay there. Stay there, and then I will eventually look back at the chat and see you were talking to me, which is awesome. One of my favorite things to do, of course, is interact in the chat as well as play games for you guys on stream. Man, time's gone by quick, everybody. Bow, pow. That's what's so great about games. Time goes by very, very fast, like a time machine. All right, I got some stuff here that I want to bulldoze. Let me get out of my subterranean here. I'm kind of in my lines overview. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these businesses here so some better businesses can move in as our workers get smarter and smarter. Oops. Got rid of one that I didn't want to get rid of. My bad. Sorry. My bad. Bad bulldozing. All right. Oh, let me get rid of these guys here. Get rid of those guys there. Oh, D-zone that. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? All right. We got plenty of industrial whatnot to fill in. And we don't have much demand for it. But look at that. 300,000 already. My cash is still looking good. It goes up to about 3,000, down to about 2,000, kind of in that kind of wave. Looking good. And, of course, we've added more stuff here. We want to get our income up a little bit. We'll go ahead and add a bunch more. That was fail. A bunch more residential in our kind of empty residential spots here. And now that we move this back, by the way, we can go ahead and update the end of this road here. And let's just go ahead and update here. Look at those filling in. Look at them filling in like crazy. There we go. All right, we're getting there, everybody. We're trying to get to the next level, the 5,500. Let's go ahead and upgrade this back here, too. There we go. Now, this is going to be all screwed up over here, so we're going to pause it for just a second. We're going to get rid of anything that pops up. And then we're going to go ahead and fix our zoning here. Take that out. Take this out. Rezone in 4s. A 4 gap. Like this. And again, see, the least amount of rezoning you can do keeps your income super stable. So do a little bit at a time. You do a lot, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of income. You're going to lose a lot of stuff. And you could actually cause your entire city just to go down the toilet. So let's go ahead and let that run. And then we'll go ahead and build that up like so. Let's see how we're doing. How are we looking on garbage? We're looking good. How are we looking on dead peeps? That's looking good. Dead peeps only 27%. And let's go ahead and look at water, electricity. Gonna probably need some more electricity. Let's just go ahead and add that now while we're thinking about it. And again, notice how I put all the electricity in a row. I put it all in a row so the trucks come in, drop off that coal. I'm good. Eventually, of course, I'll move to solar and all of that stuff as well as I unlock that. And there we go. Okay, moving that in. Everybody moving in. Looking good, looking good. Let's go ahead and add some more houses out here. And add that one at the end. Look at this all messed up over here. Let's go ahead and de-zone that. Fix up our city. And away it goes. Those are these in ones to speed it along. 4 gap there. Notice how I've got a 3 gap there, so that's kind of messed up, but that's okay. Do what we got to do because we want our public services to be around. Once those fill in, we'll do that. Like so. That'll fill that in. We've got some commercial there. We've got our house we can fill in there. Looking good, looking good. Oh, I got a text from somebody. I got a text. I got a text. I feel special. Wife's making plans right in the middle of my streaming. Hold on a second. There we go. Right in the middle of my... I set my streaming schedule, and my wife, even though I tell her exactly what it is or whatever, she loves to put stuff right at the same time. And I'm like, come on, I'm trying to stream here. I'm trying to stay consistent. But she loves to put stuff right in the middle of streaming. Like she's putting stuff on Friday in the middle of the stream. All right, let me de-zone this because this is all funky. This is funky chicken right here. Why is that not filling in? I don't want to know. I lost some of those because I had to bulldoze some of those because I didn't have enough workers. I'm gonna take all that out. Again, I don't want it to come in onesie twosies like this. See, I don't want it to come in like that. I don't like it like that. I don't like it like that. And again, we're just kind of upgrading little by little now that we're kind of to this stage. We're gonna de-zone all of this. We're gonna de-zone all of that. I don't like it to come in weird like that. I like to come in nice and square like that. All right, and I already de-zoned that. And let's rezone all of our stuff here. We're going to leave a 3 gap there. Actually, let's zone in from the middle. Let's zone from the middle where we have our footpaths. And again, sometimes it's good to, you know, to de-zone stuff because, you know, it clears out slums. It clears out different areas as well. And so we want to go ahead... something like that. This is not a full 4, so we're going to take that out. There we go. And so on. You want to be very grid-esque. This is what you do. This is what you do. You fill it in little by little, right? You don't have to, you know, do giant blocks of stuff, though you can. You can totally just fill it all in, let it figure it out on its own. But I like to have very precise control over how my city builds and in which direction it's building and that kind of stuff. Now, I don't need, you know, 5 bazillion tons of industrial if I don't have enough people to work there, right? And your population, by the way, is split into different areas, right? So your actual your people who can work are a percentage, right? You might have 90% seniors and you have nobody who's working. And of course, all your businesses go out of business, and of course, you start to lose people and you start to lose money as well. And I try to keep the births and deaths. Obviously, you want the births above the deaths in your city. That is very handy. We're getting there, 3,800 right now. We're getting close, getting close. Look at this city shaping up over here. All right, I'm going to show you a little bit something about the parks here. The parks have this really cool thing called the basketball court. One of my favorite things to put down because who doesn't like to play some b-ball on a nice Saturday afternoon? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this down and watch how everybody who goes from red here, right? We got some people who are by the park who are okay, but watch how the impact of this basketball court. Now I'm going to try to blanket as much of the city as possible by putting it in the middle, of course, of this kind of right side of the city. And watch the difference when I put it down. Now, of course, I need to kind of think about how wide it's going to be. Is it going to mess up my footpath, which it is. But that is okay. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Bam. And watch as it makes a huge difference to this. Now, notice how it made more difference on this side than it did on these other sides. The reason why is because you've also got a park here. So these are kind of overlapping, and now these guys are styling, right? So I like to put them kind of about the middle of the city. Right down the city, and I like to put them on kind of all ends of the city, like this. And then I'll come through, and I'll put another one here, and so on. And now what will happen is the value of those homes go up. See, watch as they upgrade. See them upgrading? Watch as they upgrade because now they're going to that higher tier level homes. Right, so they're going from the lower tier levels to the higher tier, level 5 tier level homes. Look at them upgrade. Super cool. I love to watch them upgrade. So there's something really cool about that. So when you add, of course, more entertainment, more enjoyment to their stuff, they've got places to go. They can go play some b-ball and be a little bit more happier Sims. And of course, now my residential is rising massively, right? It's rising massively because people want to move in. They want to live right next to wherever the b-ball is. All right, so there we go. So you can see I've got about 4 times as much residential than industrial. And I've got a lot more commercial than all of that. And again, businesses, when they go out of business, go ahead and dozer them. Get them on out of there. Keeps your city nice and lean. And again, if I've got some industrial that hasn't filled in yet, I won't add any more. We've got some that can fill in there. Let's go ahead and do this. Now you can look at each of these industrials and why they are failing, usually because they don't have enough workers. But I don't. I just let it run. I just let it run. If it gets funky or whatever, I just bulldoze it and wait for people to move back in again. Move back in again. So let's keep going. I'm going to go ahead and extend, but not this way because we're right by this, right? We're right by that. We want to extend actually in this direction so that I have power over the freeway. I have the power to run all of this as well. Let's go ahead and dozer all these rocks. Usually go around, dozer all the rocks that are in my way. Now, what's a very cool way to do your freeway? We're going to go ahead and do this. Actually, I'm gonna run out of time here. What's a really cool way to do your freeway where you have plenty of space above ground? Now, one time I have gone in and I have done above ground bridges where they're up above ground and all these kind of really cool off-ramps came in there. But if you have the cash, I knew that was going to start going up. If you have the cash, mods, if we can start looking for a raid target. If you have the cash like I do, and I have 327,000 already at the very beginning of the game, I'm actually going to take the freeways out. You're like, Kismet, that's going to cut off all of your trucks. It's going to cut off all your trucks and your traffic and all that stuff to your city. Dude, that is fail. Oh, no, it's not fail. It's all sorts of win. Here's why it's win. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my freeway, and I'm going to go ahead and make it where the freeway is underground. So I can actually build stuff over the top of the freeway as they go. Now, right here, if I put this underground like this, and then I try to run a road, right? Let's get up to the road level. I try to run a road, it's actually going to be in the way, right? Of me trying to run a nice straight road, keep my nice grid going, right? So, of course, I could purchase this area right over here, right? If I could, right? But I can't right now. I could have purchased that instead of purchasing this, but I usually purchase this one later, just so the fact I have control over that kind of corner of the road. So we really don't want to do a subterranean thing right there, right? So what we want to do is go ahead and bring the road across, so we have an idea of where we want the road. Actually, let's get our full-size road. We got an idea of where we want our road, so we can keep our grid if we want. We don't have to, by the way. You can fix the grid and make it all fancy and that kind of stuff. But we can show you a bit on how to do bridges into a subterranean. So again, I go ahead and elevate. I go ahead and start this and then elevate it by using the page up and page down. Notice how it's not working, right? It's not working. I can't get it to go. So you can go ahead and run it a little bit this way, right, to get the slope up, right? Because I don't have control over this outer area. So the least I can do is bulldoze it all the way back to here. Again, you'll see I can't bulldoze anymore, right? Because it's got to at least have a little bit of a connection from the previous part of the freeway if you can't actually adjust it. So what I'm going to do is actually run the freeway a little bit to kind of tandem to the road, like this, to get a little bit of height, right? So I can cross over. Now, I find it's good to build what I call a little road and then a big road, right? You build a little road and then you build a big road, right? Something like this, right? And you can go ahead and just build it straight across, or you can go straight and then straight again. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to make it a little fancy. I'm going to make it a little curved like this. So there we go. So now what we did is we built a bridge over the top of the thing like that. And then now we're going to go ahead and turn around the opposite, and we're going to make it go subterranean, right? And as it's red until we get to a point in which it does this. Now look at the entrance and exit. The entrance to the subterranean thing is really, really far. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be as short as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and first find the shortest road, like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and find the shortest subterranean like that. And then I will run this all the way across to the other side here. Actually, we need to bulldoze some of this. And thanks to whoever that was. Thanks to ASWXD and also Andres earlier for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. I know I already said hello to you, Andres, but hey, I'll say hello again. Thank you so much for showing the love here on the stream. So now we want to connect it underground from way over here to way over here. Now, why am I letting this road run straight, by the way? And that's because I want the power to chain all the way across without having to run power lines and all that stuff. So I want to kind of chain it down the road, which you'll see me do here. Now, we've got some ones over here at this bridge area. So we're going to go ahead and leave a little bit of this bridge area out. Now, the reason why is so I can kind of create some roads, right, that can come right off or right on the bridge area that will connect eventually to this big giant area that I'm going to create up here. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We're going to do some fun stuff up here, not just build a city, but do some industrial stuff up there, some custom industrial stuff. And we're going to go ahead and make our kind of subterranean entrance. And here, you're like, Kismet, going the wrong way. Don't worry, we can fix that later. We can fix that later. And then again, we'll go ahead and click this. Now, this is underground now. This is underground, so we can just go straight from one to another. Now, that cost me a fortune right there. If you didn't see that, that cost me literally like tens of thousands of dollars right there. Subterranean work costs a lot. Now, I'm going to do the same thing and try to keep my my roads very kind of in sync with each other, right, along the same kind of line, like this. And, of course, I want to kind of do the same thing over here. We'll go ahead and go up here. We'll go ahead and bring up a bridge. Like this. Now notice I can't just go straight across, so I'm going to create a bridge, a small road, and then a crossroad. It works really, really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the smallest road, and then the smallest subterranean road, and voila, we've got it. And you're like, Kismet, these are all going the wrong direction. My ADHD, Kismet. I'll fix it for you. I'll fix it for you. All right, we'll get our upgrade tool. We're on our freeway tool. We'll right-click, and there we go. All of our stuff is now going in the right direction. Sorry to affect your HD. The reason why I do that is because it's much easier a lot of the times to just do the subterranean from the surface road than to do it from underground to go up to the surface road. So I always kind of start surface road and then go down so I can make the smallest entrance and exit. So, of course, I have more room to build more stuff in my city. So that's why I do that, and you'll see me just go through and fix it. Now, we look for those little things that say our roads are messed up. No more of those anymore. And now I have a complete underground freeway. Isn't that awesome? That is just so cool. Now, it cost me a lot of cash. You see I'm down to 207,000, and it costs a lot of upkeep for underground. But now I can build a big old giant city up here without these freeways being in the way. But there's something else we want to do. There's something else we want to do. We have people coming down the freeway here, right? We want these people to be able to exit the freeway as well and to get to the industrial areas so they don't necessarily have to come all the way here, cut into our city and do all of that, right? So, of course, we're going to create some more entrance and exits in our city itself. And I'm going to do it right here on this corner. We're going to go ahead and do that with some more freeway action right here. So now I want the exit to actually be up on the second road because I don't want to be on the primary road because there's going to be a bunch of traffic going across here. You need to think about that ahead of time because that will help you a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's say, let's see, I'll put it in the middle of the thing here. Actually, a little offset so we don't mess up our footpaths. Let's say right about here. And again, page down, get it as small as possible so it doesn't disrupt my zoning. And then, of course, I'll actually offset here first. Underground, thank you. And do my page up here. And then you can run it like this, or you can run it small. And then connect it however you want to do it. This is all underground, so it doesn't matter. Now, again, notice how it's going in the wrong direction. So, again, I need to upgrade it. Right-click. Now they can come off the freeway. Watch as they do. Watch how quickly they start doing it, though, which I think is pretty cool. How quickly they recognize. Look at that. They recognize there's an off-ramp there. right? And then there they go. Now, some of that traffic is being offset, so it doesn't have to come through the central main line. Some of that traffic is now being offset over here, and then, of course, can travel to wherever it wants to go in more of the crossways, as opposed to having to be all coming through the central area of the city. And you'll see me do that on the other side. I'll connect the freeways over here, and, of course, you want to have freeways connected on all the sides of there. But how the heck do they get out of there now, Kismet? What if they come in, go down here, and they want to get out, and they want to end up on this road over here? That is a trickier part to do, but we're going to do that right now. Now, I'm going to do it right before it hits this intersection, because this intersection is going to get super busy eventually. So I'm going to actually add it right here as they come down here. They can go ahead and get back on the freeway. So we're going to go ahead and add another one here. And let's put it down a little bit over here. And subterranean. Now I can't run it through this, right? And I don't want to connect it to this because this is not an exit. This is not an entrance. This is an exit, right? This is where they go to get back on this freeway over here. So I'm actually going to run it up this way, across the thing. Again, this is all underground, so it's not affected. And you can make this a lot prettier than what I'm doing, by the way. But notice how I can't just do this. If I do this, what it's going to do is it's going to do that up above the road. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go up above the freeway, up in the road like that. That's too funky. That's funky chicken, right? Same thing over here. Look at this. This is coming up out of the road like that, and you don't want it to do that. You want it to be underground. You want it to be totally and utterly underground. So we're going to go ahead and make a small exit like this so you can control your entrance and exits. Now on this side, I'm actually going to use page down to make it go down. See how the gray area there? Let me go ahead and zoom in on it. Notice how the gray area actually looks like it's going down further, right? See the gray? You can actually go under the freeway you just bought or made, or I could go over it if I wanted to do that. But I could actually make it go under like this. I'm actually making it go about midway here. Make it go under that freeway and then kind of bring it back up again. Again, little things help out a lot. And then make it go like that. So we just made a really look at all the arrows. If you actually didn't make that yourself, you'd be like, what the heck is going on there? What the heck is going on there? Well, that's a whole bunch of stuff going on underground. Now look at that. Somebody's already using it. Look at that. So now you've got exits to the freeway where people can just get right on the freeway, go under here. They go under the other freeway as opposed to over it, and then come up onto the on-ramp, onto the underground freeway, and then, of course, take that freeway out of town. There you go. So that's a bit of how to do underground stuff. Now, of course, it leaves us lots and lots of room for above cities and underground cities. Again, look at this. Look at this stuff here. You want to fix that, you gotta look for that stuff because that'll happen, right? So when I was creating that thing, it created it come up and then down. I don't want to do any of that. You got to just keep it underground. See, I don't want it to slope. I want to use the down, page down to keep it all underground. And now we've got nothing on top, right? Because it'll do that. It'll try to bring it up onto the surface level because it automatically bumps you back to surface level when you try to do that stuff. You got to use page down to stay down in the subterranean level. And now we can just build a big giant city over the top of it. Right, and we got entrance, exits. We can have those freeways come up anywhere we want, right? So say we wanted to come up in the residential area, we could do that. Say we wanted to come up in the industrial area, we could do that. Let's go ahead and actually do it real quick. How are we looking on time? Oh man, we're way over. Great example is say you want your people to come in, right? And you want them to end up in the residential area way over here in the middle. So instead of cutting through all these streets and doing all of that stuff, we can go ahead and send them straight over there. So again, we'll go ahead and grab this. Oops, subterranean, please. Again, I hate it when it bumps me out of subterranean. Not necessary. And then we'll go ahead and cross right here underneath this kind of service area. Maybe they want to go to their college here, right? And I like to put it on this side so they can make a right. Right? Because rights are easier than making lefts. If I go this way, they'll make a left, and they got to turn around, do all sorts of crazy stuff. But I want to go ahead and have them make a right. So I'm going to make it go way to here. Now, again, $42,000 that cost me. So watch out if you don't have a lot of cash like I do. And then we're going to hit it right there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to kind of curve its way up because that's cool. So curve its way up, and now people can travel from the freeway, and you'll see them start to do it right away, all the way to their home. There they go. Bam! All the way across town and end up in that residential area, and then boom, they can just drive, make a couple rights, and boom, they're home, right? Or they can go over here. And we can look at how the traffic's going simply by going here, clicking on this here, and it shows you, look at the type of traffic that I'm getting over here. I'm getting a lot of private vehicles, a lot of residential traffic over that way. And then we'll go ahead and look at this other off-ramp here, what kind of traffic I'm getting here. Very heavy truck traffic. That's going here to my industrial, which is awesome because now it's coming in from this direction. It's flowing in one direction, and then once it drops it off, boom, back out the exit it goes. It's not crossing over a lot into the other side. And then, of course, any of my residential traffic coming down here as well and ending up in these kind of lower areas. So you can do a lot of fun stuff like that. Again, that's going to affect your upkeep. It's going to affect how much cash you got. Now I'm down to about 120,000. So, yeah. Usually I don't do that too early on. If you do that too early on, it does affect your income, affects what you can build later on, and all of that. All right, let's get out of there. Let's let that run. We're going to expand out this way next time. We've got demand for just about everything, which is nice, and I think we'll hit that 55. Oh, we're so close, though. We're so close. But we're going to have to call it there. Let's go ahead and say, wow, I haven't saved the game at all this whole time. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Duh. Save. Bro. All right. There we go. We'll say it. I have not saved it that whole time. If that had crashed, we'd be doing all that again. Very bad. Very bad, Kismet. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and head back. Let's just actually just leave it right there. I'm going to jump back to my overseer's office. Boom. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get on the Kismet love train, everybody. We're going to send that love out to somebody else right now. And I've got to go pick up my kids. I would love to hang out with you guys all day, but you know how it goes. You got to balance. You got to balance that IRL. You got to balance that life. Otherwise, what happens is you let your health go down. Then you're like me. You're out, bam, for a week or two, and you're bumming. You're bumming. So let's go ahead and get it going on here. I've got to whisper. Bam, ba-dam, ba-dam. All right, let's see. Let's do creative feedback. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who needs some love today? Now, you guys have the power. You have the power to make somebody's night tonight or day today, I guess if I say it correctly. You have the power to make somebody's day. You do. You have the power to go in there, make them smile, make them have a great day. Oh, this guy's got a helmet on. Trying to not dead. Oh, I like this guy already. I like this guy already. I like what he's wearing. Some cosplay, it looks like. He is playing They Are Billions. I love that game. Super fun game to watch and to play. Looks like he's just a small streamer. I think we should get this guy. I think we should get the guy. Let me look, though, at everybody else. That's wild. All right. Yeah, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get him. Now, you might be like, Kismet, you're a partnered streamer, bro. You're all of this stuff. Why don't you go and raid people who have tons and tons of people in there so they raid you back? Because that's not what I'm about. I mean, hey, I do that sometimes for friends and people like that, for other Twitch people that I really like. But most of the time, I don't. I try to help out the smaller streamer because I used to be that smaller streamer. I used to be that streamer before I got partnered, and before I got an audience, I would have 1-2 people on my channel. And most of those would be my members, right? So we want to help out those people today. We want to make somebody's day today. We want to make this guy smile. Now, his name is Knight Javor. Hopefully, I've got anywhere close to his name correct. Thank you so much also for hitting the follow button. Thank you so much to Sparky for hitting that follow button. I hope you check out the stream next time I go live. I'll be back tomorrow, 12 in the afternoon, as well as tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing some Fallout 4 modded, playing some Sim Settlements, too. I can't wait to get back to that. I've been jonesing for playing some Fallout 4. I love some Fallout 4. So this guy's name's Nightvor. Now, what I want you to do right here in the chat, you can see here now whether you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, grab that first one. If you're subscribed level 1, level 2, and level 3, there's your options right there. I'm going to go ahead and start this raid going. Let's see. Bring my chat back over there. There we go. Get that raid going. Did I not? I forgot to I copy pasted on the wrong keyboard. I do it all the time. There we go. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Okay. And let me go ahead and grab it from the chat here so I can put it in there. Mods, go ahead and put it in there one more time. Put it there one more time. I put exclamation point love 4 in there if you don't mind. Because my chat cleared. My chat cleared. Oh, wait, no, it's over here. Hold on. I got another window. Aha, look how sneaky I am. I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. All right, there we go. Let's get ready, everybody. Now, I want you to grab that and get ready to go in here. We're all going to go together. We're going to go ahead and start this raid. I want you to go ahead and hit that join button. If you do enjoy the stream, make sure to hit the follow button for my stream. And, of course, hit this guy some love. Right now, he has got... I closed it up. He has got 83 followers. He's following 18 other people. He's got 6 people in his stream right now. I'm one of those people now in his stream, and I think we could make his day. I think we could make him smile, make him stream just a little bit extra awesome today. Let's go, everybody. Let's go hit that raid. Bam! We're ready to go. Now, right up there on that right-hand corner, you can see a join button. Come on, everybody. Let's go together. Let's all go together. Let's solidarity, everybody. Hit that join button right up there. Let's go raid. Get that, copy it out of there, or you can just type it in. If you're on mobile, double tap, do your little thing, a little copy, blah, 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 blah thing. And then we're going to go over there. We're going to blow it up. We're going to blow it up. We got just a few seconds. Now, again, I will be back tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, playing some Fallout 4. We're going to be playing all night long, having a great time. Then we'll be playing some more games. You want to see my schedule down below the stream, you can check it out on Twitter or on the Discord as well. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.